Whether you're new to gaming or have been enjoying video games all your life, great gaming is not only about having fun and escaping the stresses of everyday life, but also being there to pick up our teammates, especially when they're down.
Guardian down.
We're a Destiny 2 podcast that focuses on three things: promoting a positive gaming community, sharing news around the industry in Destiny 2, and discussing thought-provoking topics in the game. We're Guardian Downcast, your stories, your community, and your destiny. Well, what's up, Guardian? Welcome to episode 333 of Guardian Downcast. I'm your host, ToddtheGatr, and I'm a day one Guardian who loves gaming and especially the Destiny franchise. We're the podcast that's all about your stories, your community, and your destiny. For those of you who may have just discovered our podcast, we're a gaming show that comes on every week with an emphasis on the Destiny franchise, but we like to sprinkle in some entertainment and other topics of discussion relating to our hobby from time to time as well, especially in our roundtable episodes, which are typically the end of every month. Also, we are live on YouTube and Twitch now, and our Discord community on our live stage. And so you can catch our show live every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll also have replays of tonight's shows if you are sleeping right now in the UK and not hearing this at the moment and want to watch it later. It's always available for you there. Or if you want to go to any of our Twitter feeds, anything, all of our episodes and stuff, you want to send us a voicemail, all that good stuff, it's guardiandowncast.com, where you can check any of that out about us. I have my co-host from the great state of Utah, Mr. Kingsleymac, back with us again. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, I'm glad to be here, and I got my Star Wars lightsabers ready.
I see that.
These are actual lightsabers, not Praxic blades, but we'll talk about that also.
Nice. I like it. Well, it's our first impressions episode for Destiny's latest expansion, Renegades. We will talk about what we have played so far and our takes on what we liked, maybe some of the things we didn't like. It's a pretty simple show tonight. It's going to be pretty chill, and we're going to talk everything Destiny 2. I will warn you now, though, this episode might have some spoilers, especially relating to the campaign. So if you haven't had a chance to play the campaign as of yet and you don't want to be spoiled on it, this will probably be your only warning. So just keep that in mind. If you might want to just watch the replay once you've played the campaign all the way through and come back to this show. I mean, we love to see you here, but we don't want to spoil your game as well. So this will be your only warning that we will be possibly some light spoilers about the campaign tonight. So maybe a few other things as well. But let's if we have any questions at the end of the show, we'll look for any questions there are in the chat. Anybody has any feedback in the chat and want to talk with us as we're talking about the game tonight, feel free to enter your input into either Twitch, YouTube, or the Discord chat. All our chat windows are up, and we'll be sure to include you in the conversation. Good night to just talk about Destiny, man. Just a good show for that. So if everyone's ready, let's roll. Hey, it's Todd with Guardian Downcast. There's all kinds of ways that you can contact us. You can contact us on X. You can hit up our Instagram. You can send us a voicemail, or you can even email us.
You can just tell them, go to the website at guardiandowncast.com.
You know what, Mike? You're exactly right. guardiandowncast.com. Later, Guardian. Well, Kingsley, before we get into our review tonight, just checking in, man. How's your week been this last week? I don't know about you, man, but this week flew by because it was already a pretty weird week last week with Thanksgiving, and now that we got into this week, it just didn't feel like a regular week. I don't know about you, but it just flew by. How was your week?
I wouldn't say the week flew by for me, but it didn't drag either. Great week. I am trying to think, we
ran another raid.
No, we did our Saturday night raid, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, let's give a shout out to our raid crew. Yep. That's Ronan Red Lion, Zombie Pops, Kingsleymac, of course. I forgot Sin last week. I think Sin Media. I forgot to mention him last. Sorry, Sin. Sorry, man. You and Kingsley have been podcasting for so long. I kind of think of you guys one and the same. It's no offense, man. Sure. Of course, Kingsley, and of course, Allocate. That's our raid crew. We joined, and we usually stream that live every Saturday, by the way. But yeah, we did our raid last week. What else were you up to, man?
Yeah, that's it. And then other than the stuff we'll talk about here for the new campaign, we talked a little bit before the show, but I've been enjoying rewatching Breaking Bad. I don't know why I just got into rewatching it again. I definitely want to check out Pluribus, but I think I was like, I just want to wait till a few more episodes come out so I can binge it. And so I'm like, but then I'm excited. I want to watch another Vince Gilligan show. I'm like, okay, let's rewatch Breaking Bad. It's been a few years. And
That's always good.
so I'm rewatching it for the third time, just as good as ever. You catch more every single time. It's such a good show. I mean, yeah, I could probably rewatch that show forever and not get bored with it.
I was just telling you, it'll never go away. Those shows will never go away. Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, those shows will be on forever. They'll just be those shows that are just staples of Netflix. You'll never see them go anywhere else. K-Mars 360, what's up, buddy? How you been, man? I see you there in the chat. Yeah, in you mentioned Pluribus. I did actually. I actually been avoiding it over most of October when it first came out, or November, and it was like right around after Halloween, I think, is when it came out on Apple TV. And I decided one night I wasn't gaming. I was probably waiting for everything to come out for Renegades, and I just sat down and binged. I think 5 episodes. I think that there's 5 out now. I think Friday, tomorrow is the 6th episode, I believe. Man, I got to tell you, Vince Gilligan nailed it again. This show is so wacky, man. The beginning is just freaky, man. I don't want to give anything away, but it is, like I told you in pre-show, it is nothing I've ever thought of in science fiction before. And how everything happens is just wacky as hell, man. It's hard to believe, but.
Plus I think Apple is just more the publisher, but whoever's controlling the money, which maybe is mostly Apple, they basically wrote him a blank check. Like he could spend as much money as he wanted on the show.
The sets are awesome.
That's good news.
Yeah, the set, I mean, it's the same quality. It's Vince Gilligan, man. It's the same quality as any other show they've ever put out. But James Lewis, how you doing, man? I see you there in chat. How many people are getting Destiny 1 vibes with the new DLC? Yeah, it's kind of a space opera, isn't it? Isn't that kind of what Star Wars is? It is a space opera. But we're going to get into it. Trust me. We're definitely going to get into the campaign and stuff tonight. Anything else you want to mention, Kingsley?
I'm good.
But Pluribus is you definitely want to. I know we're sci-fi nerds, man. You're definitely going to get into that show. I can just tell you right now. My wife is my wife's kind of been avoiding it because she doesn't like the sci-fi scene much. She's a light Star Wars fan. But I do have a movie review. I saw Wicked for Good last night with my wife. We saw it on the IMAX screen, and you know what? I think I gotta give you the bright points first. I really love how they brought in Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, and the Scarecrow. How they showed how those characters developed in the story. I don't know if that was actually in the book because I didn't read the book. It's like ancient, but I don't know the lore of. I don't know the lore.
It was always there behind the scenes. It's about Glinda and Elphaba, but they have to tell the story of Oz and Dorothy and all that too.
I mean, that book is so old. I was doing a little Googling on it, and it said that the author, James Baum, I guess his name is, he was from World War I, and he talked about all these characters in the movie, which is kind of a musical movie, and how they pertain to people that he was in battle with. There was comrades in the First World War, which just blew me away. But yeah, I did. It was very nice. The sets, of course, are real lavish and stuff. But I'm going to throw my wife under the bus tonight because I couldn't believe she was doing this in the theater. We got to the love scene where Elphaba and someone else, you know who I'm talking about, they're about to make love. And before they make love, they start singing to each other. And my wife was covering her mouth because she was laughing so hard. I don't know what it is about musicals. They just lighten the seriousness of the movie with the singing. I know I'm not trying to offend anyone who loves musicals, but I leaned over at her and I said, just screw the guy already, man. Get over. Why are you singing about it? Just do it. And then there was a scene between Elphaba and Glinda where they were singing they're about to leave each other for good, and they had a big singing scene, and my wife wasn't having it. I got the door closed. She can't hear me.
Yeah, I mean,
Fair
original Wizard of Oz has a lot of
I
singing
know.
before things too that people could think is weird also.
I know, and I'm not trying to piss all over this movie, but I actually enjoyed this movie. She was laughing, giggling like a little schoolgirl, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's a musical. I get it. But
also, that quote love scene was like it was like basically not. I mean, like,
you know what I mean?
The movie's rated what, PG?
No, but you know they were going to do it. They were going to get down with the dirty, you know. But why are we singing about it?
You're reading way.
I know, but see,
I think you guys are reading way more into it.
But we're just serious movie watchers. I mean, we see musicals. I know, but we see musical movies they're trying to really push musicals into the theater, and I understand they're trying to get people in the seats. We're like, nope, I'm not seeing that one. Nope. And it's just stage shows that they're putting on the screen. They're just recording it on stage and putting it in the movie theater. And that's fine. You know, we don't have access to Broadway here in Florida, so I get it, but it's not my thing, man. But I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was a solid, good movie because I enjoyed the movie. I did. I actually enjoyed how it ended. And I kind of had a feeling that was what was going to happen at the end there with the Wicked Witch. And, you know, I figured that's what happened with the water scene, you know, where she melts. Everybody knows she melts in the end. But
so you tell me with your wife, you've never joked around and sang a little bit before you guys got frisky? I think every couple does that a little bit.
Dude,
just as
I'm not going to get too personal here, but we don't start singing to each other. We don't get that freaky deaky, man. We get down to it anyway.
No, I said a little bit. I didn't say a lot. Obviously, I don't think in the movie it's going to be a 5-minute song, but yeah,
I don't think we're singing. I don't think we're singing when it's time to get in the sheets. I'm sorry, it's not happening. We're very serious people, I guess. I don't know, but
wow, that sounds so fun.
I'm sorry. How did that fucking topic come up? Okay.
I had to poke the bear.
I know you did because I made fun of your movie. I know, I get it, but. I
didn't like this one as much as the first, but I thought it was a good follow-up.
I thought it was a solid. No, it's a solid movie, and if you're a musical lover, you're definitely. I'm sure there are people in there just loving that movie. So I totally get it, man. I really do. So no, that's pretty much my week. Yeah. I had played hooky 2 nights this week because I wanted to make sure 2 days of my week this week, and I busted my butt today because I was so far behind in my work. Because I wanted to get the campaign done this week. That was my goal. And I finished it up just last night and immediately wrote some initial impressions on it. And that's what we're going to get into right after this.
Hey, Elmer Fudd Games here, and you're listening to Guardian Downcast. If you're listening to any other show right now, I will break into your house and destroy your kneecaps. I will twist off the headboard of your bed so when you go to stretch in the morning, you fall between the crevice. Guess what? Dog hair and old socks. Disgusting. No one wants that, but we want you to listen to this podcast. How's that? Was that good?
I like it. All right, Kingsley. Well, we've both played the campaign. You've played a little bit more than I have because you work from home. You probably have more time to take breaks and jump on and play. And I saw you almost some other players.
Plus, I do the easier mode because I like to get through things faster.
Yeah, that was the thing, man. I played on Legendary, but every time I went to play the next mission, it defaulted to normal. And I got to ask you this: I did not get the exotic helmet, man, for my Warlock, and I'm wondering why I didn't get it. Is there a reason why?
Yeah, let's talk about that. That would be why you must have missed a mission and accidentally done one of them on normal.
Okay.
But here's the thing. It doesn't matter because you can get it still very easily afterwards. I purposely choose normal because I always know you can get the exotic afterwards easily. Like last campaign, it was the Civ activity.
Okay.
In Final Shape, it was public event. Well, anyways, all you have to do is you get this exotic key card thing from just running a couple of the, I think they give you on the first one actually, right. Once you attach to a syndicate and run the actual version of the Lawless Frontier, not the story version.
Right.
You'll get an exotic key card.
Okay.
You go back into the mission and you can open a special door and then you'll get it in a chest. So
okay, so I just have to run one. See, I've chosen my faction that I want to play with. So once I run that in the zone, it'll give me the key card right away. Is that what you're saying?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure if it's just one or something else procs it up. But as you do the stuff afterwards, like I got it like very quickly after. I don't think it was RNG, because if it is, then maybe I just got lucky. But it seemed like it popped up after I.
Do you have the helmet in front of you? What's the helmet called? What's the benefits?
Yeah, it is called. And actually, there is a build I'm going to check out. Although I still think on Strand, the Metaiodoxia is a little bit better for DPS, because it had got the DPS buff. So I'm going to be even outclassing you more in the raids now, unless you switch to Metaiodoxia. But anyways, it is called the, I don't know how to pronounce this yet, Demos Suffusion. Maybe that's it.
Suffusion, okay.
I'm really good. I really like pronouncing things the correct way. I'm not 100% sure on that yet. It looks like Demos Suffusion.
Tajo said I go to my game, and I'm gonna switch over here to my game, my live gameplay here real quick, and let's look it up here real quick. He says to go to my Triumphs page and see.
Yeah, you can see if you haven't done all the legend missions.
So it would be under.
They always have that under the Triumphs. Like you can see if you've done the legend ones, which you don't have to do that also, by the way, to get the title. Just like with Edge of Fate, you only there was like 4 you didn't have to do. This time around, there's like 2 you don't have to do. So you could, and I may be one of these people, like never run the campaign on legend at all and still get the title.
Okay. I'm looking for the Triumph where it says run everything in legend.
It is Frontier Domination.
Frontier Domination, okay.
4th down on the left for Renegades.
Yeah, Fire and Ice. I thought that was very easy to play.
Well,
I played that, and that's my favorite mission in the whole campaign.
Okay. We'll put a pin in that. See, that probably messed up a lot of people too. And I'm kind of like not happy that they put an exotic mission in the middle of the campaign as opposed to afterwards. But anyways, we'll talk more about that. But it was a good mission. I do agree.
Tajo Trade in YouTube says Metaiodoxia is either messed up or not as much damage as promised. Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, Frontier Domination. Yeah, I got to run the Fire and Ice mission again. I think I need to run it anyway, don't I, to get the catalyst?
Do at least a couple more times. In fact, all right, I'll gladly run with you sometime. Okay. We can talk afterwards.
That sounds good.
But yep,
that sounds good. Yeah, awesome. I thank you, Tajo. Storm Dancers is usually the highest Warlock DPS now. Okay, Storm Dancers. Okay, and you're saying the Metaiodoxia is either bugged or isn't. So maybe Kingsley won't have an edge on me. Okay, in the
I'll always have an edge on you.
Who had the highest damage numbers last?
If I care,
I think you let up. I think you let up on a few shots just to make me feel better in last week's raid. But I did have the highest numbers. No, it wasn't me. It was. No, it can't be Zombie Pops. He never gets the highest numbers. I'm going to have to double check those numbers.
We're getting sidetracked, but if you really want to know, I remember a lot of time. I specifically ran through the ring a few more times, so that took away.
See,
I don't think you ever run through the ring.
I don't. I'm focused, man. I'm focused in where I'm just doing DPS and I'm just avoiding the damn the beams that come out of the enemy. So, yeah, that's the main thing I'm worrying about. I'll even hip fire my machine gun just so I can see, in a wider vision of where those rings are coming around. So. Llama put out a DPS video testing it recently. Okay, cool. Yeah,
a lot of the dust will settle within the next few days and week, and
okay,
we'll talk about builds and stuff more in the next upcoming weeks.
So I should in the very last. So once I click that Frontier Domination completed, it should give me the exotic. Is what you're saying?
No. That's just to tell you you've done them all. Once you've done them all, you can get them from Honor in the cantina.
Gotcha. Okay.
You don't get it from the Triumphs, literally, but that will tell you if you've done them all, and then you can get it. Yeah.
All right. Good to know. Thank you for that. I know we're going to talk about that later, but I figured let's just get that over with now because I don't know how I didn't get the exotic because I ran everything on Legendary, but apparently on Fire and Ice, that is one of my favorite missions, by the way, is the maze. It had definitely a lot of jumping puzzles, a lot of floors falling out and stuff. I love that mission, man. I thought it was the only thing that I was a little confused with was the balancing thing where you had to balance the light and dark orbs that came out of the enemies.
Well, are we going to talk about it now? Because I have lots more to say.
All right. Later. Well, let's start with log on. How was your log on experience? I didn't log on, by the way, until like 2 p.m.
It was perfect, and I was expecting it to be fine, especially since we have lower player counts these days. But even still, even when we had higher player counts, so many people are like, "Oh, don't log in on day one; it's never good." I'm like, that's not always true. And in fact, usually, if it's been years since there's been major issues, and then usually like later at night, if anything. But that didn't even happen this time around. Login was perfect. I didn't even have a queue. I got right in.
I wasn't either. I did get a Marion Barry error right off the bat, but once I backed out and relaunched, I went right in. I got right back in. So Deadpool One Merc said I had the same issue for me. It was the last mission that I missed. Have to go back and play it. The Fire and Ice mission remains me of the Jedi Temple with the trials. Yeah, I love that. It had very Jedi, very Jedi Temple vibes for me too, man. I really liked it. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Sorry, you're gonna have to keep me on track tonight, Kingsley. Sorry.
But you don't have to read every comment.
I know, but I'm just trying to include everybody who's in the chat tonight. But thank you, Taja, for letting me know about that because I didn't know. I didn't know what I was doing wrong. So, well, let's talk about the numbers, man. The Steam numbers were not great. 71,000 concurrent. Actually, 71,000 peak on Steam, which is 25% of the player base. So if you round that up, 40-something% is just PlayStation Network, by the way. But if you round it up, it should be around 280 to 300,000 players. And if you look at the popularity report.
For Edge of Fate, for everyone, it was 781.
Yeah.
For everyone.
Popularity report did not move much at all.
No, they haven't updated that yet. So we'll get more accurate, but it doesn't matter. The other consoles, even though there's more players, they will be down just like PC players are down also. And basically I did a bunch of math before with the last one from Final Shape to Edge of Fate, basically PC drop off was about 60% less from Final Shape. And then consoles together, with everyone together, it was about 40% less than Final Shape.
Yeah, it was.
We're seeing 35% less with Renegades. Steam alone, we had 108,000 on day one, and we only got 70,900 on day one.
You're right.
Yeah, we had. I'm surprised too because we had a question in the Discord about this a few weeks back.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know what to say because I knew people weren't coming back because I talked to so many people that said, no, who cares? Just because of Star Wars, that's not going to get me to come back. You know, these are the people that basically have stopped playing, When we say people coming back, that's I know a lot of people were hoping oh, this is going to save Destiny and get people to come back and play the game.
Right.
Obviously, it didn't, unfortunately. I don't know what to say about that. It doesn't mean that it's bad. And we'll talk about it. We're excited about the campaign and stuff.
I was surprised.
But it really is interesting, the numbers.
I was very surprised the numbers were a lot lower. And I thought they would definitely hit 100,000 at least on Steam. But I mean, think about it. There's Arc Raiders. There's new Call of Duty's out. You got Battlefield 6 out. You still got Borderlands 4 out right now. There's a lot of games competing. I've been watching what people are playing.
But no one was saying that before. Everyone was saying, but everyone's going to come back because it's Renegades and Star.
That's true. But here's the thing. When I get locked in on that's why there's a reason why I don't play other games is because once I get locked into that game and I got its systems down and stuff, if I was to jump into Arc Raiders right now, I guarantee you I'd be playing a lot less Destiny. But I'm jumping all the way in on Destiny right now because I want to get through all this. And I'll get into it, but I logged in, no problem. I had the Marion barrier and I immediately relaunched and I was fine. And I jumped in on PC. I wanted to help the Steam numbers. And it was crystal clear, played it in 4K, 120 frames and no problems, no glitches, nothing.
Also, you played on, that's right. You played on PC. Good.
Yeah, I did. Well, I didn't, only thing I have for my PS5, because I want to hear the sound. I want it real rich. So I have some really good monitoring speakers in here I use for editing. And I piped it through that with the subwoofer and everything so I could get the music and everything. It just sounded really good.
Yeah.
But
the music's amazing. Yeah.
Well,
I turned it up the whole time. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the new weapons, the story progression, the villains? What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about story first, probably. Okay. That's the exciting part, right? Unless I'm chill, whatever. But
no, story's good.
We should start talking
That's a good.
About it.
I tell you, when I was as a major Star Wars nerd, I I love the fact that it gave callbacks to episode 5 at the beginning with the data encrypted disk, that they were trying to get back to the not the rebels in this case, but to us, so we can decode it and find out what it is. And then it ties into the Rogue One story, the Rogue One Star Wars movie, where they have to go and disable something so a weapon can be destroyed. That was a great storyline too. There's a lot of overlap between the Destiny story, and I really felt like I was playing a Star Wars game. I really did, because everything was leaning so far into the Star Wars story, but with that little bit of Destiny flair. And yeah, I thought the story was pretty well done. I mean, we can get into certain parts of the story, but what would you say is your most favorite part of the campaign? What story mission?
Well, yeah, I mean, overall, yeah, I really liked it. And it reminded me a lot. I could see, it was kind of funny because I feel like Bungie kept saying leading up to it, like, this isn't going to be a 1-to-1. It's going to be inspired by Star Wars. But when I actually started seeing, I'm like, I think this is a lot more 1-to-1 than they were saying. But that wasn't a bad thing. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. I really think I saw so many elements in it that I know Lucasfilm told them to do, because they did these exact same things in Star Wars Outlaws.
Exactly. Oh, did they? Okay.
And by the way, I've said this so many times, I'll just say it once again tonight. If anyone really liked this campaign, please check out Star Wars Outlaws, because you'll have even more to play that is fun. And there's a lot of things that are similar between the games. But anyways, my favorite were obviously like the first and like the last missions, because I always like things. I like this in Star Wars Outlaws too, where you're playing inside of bases or ships. To me, that's always more interesting when we're talking about Star Wars stuff. I talked about this when we were reviewing the Andor show. I'm like, I need more stuff like inside of a ship or a Death Star or a base. Like, I don't care about them walking around just talking out in the planets. I want more stuff in the ships and the bases. And I really liked like the firsts and the last missions. All of it was fine, but that was really my favorite, if we're just asking that question.
Campaign was 0 out of 10. Tajo, come on. Trolling, man. I love the fact that it opened up with the classic big battle cruiser shooting a small little ship trying to escape from it. I thought that was the coolest. That was the way.
Another 1-to-1 thing.
That's the way to open it up, man. That really is. I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, here we go. This is going to be great. I tell you what, the cutscenes, the expressions on their face, everything, they did that with motion cap, because it was so expressive. When Drifter was, getting angsty and trying to work in that ship, and later scenes in the story when he was trying, he was struggling, and you could see the expression in his face. Damn, it looked damn near photorealistic. I don't know about you, but of course I was playing it on 4K, but damn, those cutscenes were really nice. They were really well done. They probably had the actors in there with motion cap, with all the beads and stuff in the studio doing that, because those damn cutscenes. Yeah,
they showed in the Vidoc a little bit even.
They were so well, the cutscenes were so well done. And then you're like all hyped from the cutscene, and then you go to the cantina and you have the still face talking with you, and you're like, that kind of ruined it for me, because it still is an older game. The characters in game actually don't quite match up, And then the one thing I didn't like about it is the fact that you would go and talk to Anor, and all you had to do was read text. I think they should have gone voice lines on that. Pay for the voice lines to be done,
But they told us a year or so ago, like, that's not happening anymore.
You're killing me, man. Tajo, my favorite part was when I hit the skip button appeared. Come on, man. Seriously? Those cutscenes were fantastic, man. I know you don't play for the story. I get it.
Yeah, you just need to start ignoring Tajo now.
I know, but he's trolling me.
Love you,
he's bugging me right now. Anyway, no, but you get all hyped up about the mission, you're ready to go, and then you got to go and read text. That just kind of takes the wind out of my sails a little bit. I did have some issues, some bugs going in. The first mission to Europa, I got into the mission and there was no arrows telling me where to go. There was nothing. They just dropped me in Europa, and I'm like searching around. There's no objective posting. There was no arrow popping up. And eventually I said, well, I don't know what to do. I'm looking around. I know they wanted to, I thought maybe they're trying to make it mysterious where we have to go find it. No, it was bugged because once I backed out and entered back in, and I think Bungie tweeted out to switch up your modifiers before and then go back in. And then once I did that, the objectives popped up like they were supposed to, telling me what to do, what I needed to do. And yeah, it was a lot of fun after that.
I'm glad you brought that up because on that point, I was thinking kind of an opposite thing. Like when they have a quest step, you go to the cantina, talk to this person, then go over and talk to that person.
Right.
I don't think they should have arrows or little icons. A lot of games don't do that. And you can actually spend more time walking around exploring, trying to figure out where that person is. I would have had more fun without the arrows. I mean, sure, in a mission, have an arrow, or especially if you get lost for a while, have an arrow. But why do we need to have arrows in the campaign in the cantina? Say, like, talk to this person now, talk to that person.
Always the way it's
more
been.
Organic without it.
It's always the way it's been, Kingsley, with all the Destiny
I know,
games.
but I would have had more fun.
I mean, put that in the new game.
Complaint.
Put that in Destiny 3. Don't put it. No, don't.
Yeah.
Don't switch it. Don't switcheroo-us. In the last part of this game.
I don't know where to go. It's such a big cantina. I'm going to get lost.
I had to figure it out. Once I figured it out, I was good. Kabam Island, one of our Australian members, he says, the Imperium Cabal who banged his head on the door on the way through the one that was slightly taller, it was the first cutscene. First cutscene, I think he meant to say. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, the Darth Vader scene, where he comes in and the princess is given the, in episode 5 of Star Wars, it's very much like that. And then, of course, what's the big boss's? What's the big, not Bail, but the other big boss? You know his name?
Remember his name now.
Anyway, they start shooting him.
I wasn't super.
They're shooting with blasters. He played a very small role. I thought he would play a bigger role. I mean, it's probably the reason why I can't remember him because we eliminated him pretty quickly. Well, we chased him off. Spoiler alert, but he doesn't die. He escapes. So I don't know if that's a
well, you're talking about Bail, but not the other guy.
Not Bail.
Killed.
No, I don't think we killed him. He disappeared on us. No, that was Bail.
No,
that was Bail. No, but
Bail is the human
but
one.
Did we kill? Did we kill the big Cabal guy?
Yeah,
we did kill him.
Well, I did.
Okay, all right.
I don't know about you.
I thought he escaped. I thought it was where he escaped.
Yeah, maybe he did. No,
I can't remember honestly. But yeah, I mean that's how inconsequential that character was. But it was all about Bail. Let's face it. And the voice lines, fantastic. It sounded it sounded just like a lot of the characters in Star Wars. I mean, I thought it was very well done.
Yeah,
it was very well done.
Well, I want to talk about narrative without spoiling and stuff, but like since we were kind of getting on that point, and like voice and then voice lines, and then the set pieces were amazing. I'll get to that, but so even though I loved the missions, the mechanical parts of it, I feel kind of opposite of Edge of Fate. Like I really liked the narrative of Edge of Fate, but then the missions are kind of to me. This time I like the missions a little bit better. The narrative was fine, but the narrative is probably my biggest complaint because I think looking back at this after the excitement's worn off, it felt very rushed. It felt Bail, it's so weird. It's like he's a bad guy, but then he kind of switches to being a good guy in the middle. Too quick, in my opinion. Not a good guy, but like he kind of changes his mind. Then he switches back again. The Cabal bad guy, like everything kind of seemed weak, in my opinion, narratively.
The Cabal guy, I agree.
Kind of have that same impression.
And what happened what we actually found out about Bail at the very end was a curveball for me. I never knew that that's what happened. Because they were doing a trick to try to get him to pull his ghost out, right? At the end there. And we realized, he didn't have a ghost.
Yeah. We won't spoil that, but we realized it wouldn't work. Yeah.
We mentioned there would be spoilers. So some light spoilers. So that I'm guessing everyone's in our chat tonight has already played.
What did you think of narrative I mean, you even mentioned too, like the bad guys didn't seem as impressive, but did you like the narrative in general?
The narrative was fine. As far as the gameplay, I thought it was a lot easier. I played on Legendary on every mission. Well, apparently I forgot it on Fire and Ice, Fire and Ice, but I thought it was, I was using my buddy build. I was using my gauntlets, and let me show you my new look here for my Warlock because it was.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, it is easier. I was talking more just like the layouts of the mission. I had more fun than these stupid little puzzles with balls like in Edge of Fate. But it is easier for two reasons, because we have power creep these days. Everything, our abilities are super overpowered. And yes, I think Legend was only like, I think they said like -20 or something. And that just isn't enough these days to really be feeling it.
Yeah, it was -20. Yeah. And I've been playing, dude, I've already been playing.
You're not really going to feel that.
I was already playing all of my, ultimate level, solo ops on that already, or actually -30, but the one before it, I was already playing -20. So I didn't have any problem, man. In fact, I was so bold. I was running through with my buddy builds and stuff. And because I had the Devour set up and stuff, I mean, I got the prismatic setup with the stasis super. And I was just, I mean, I had Devour up so many times. When you go in the legendary and you don't get your health back as much, it didn't really matter because I was getting so much health back from all the kills from my buddies, my arc buddies. And
yeah,
I loved using my Praxic Blade. We'll talk about that in a minute, but yeah,
I don't know about you, but I don't know. I just don't care. I don't want campaign to be hard because for me, I just like to experience things. And then the after game is where they should add more difficulty. Other people like Taja don't care about the campaign at all. They just want to run through it. I don't know. Like, I feel like, sure, have a hard version of the campaign if people want to opt in, but really the hard stuff should be more like the after stuff, like the stuff in the portal, the raids, the dungeons.
Maybe so. I mean, they want you to get through the story. I get that. Yeah. I thought it was easier than it was definitely the last mission was much easier than the last mission in Ash and Iron. So not Ash and Iron, but
Edge of Fate.
Edge of Fate was tough, man. I mean, I did it solo legendary and it took me a few tries. I died several times on that mission, but the last one I would die mainly because in the last part you're driving around a kind of like a sparrow that shoots.
Yeah, I did not like that. Do you like that stuff?
It was pretty easy to shoot the stuff, and it had and
sure,
it was very powerful.
Boring and annoying is how I would say it. I would rather just be my normal guardian self doing shit than on a sparrow.
Well, there was another mission where you were in a walker, or actually not a walker, but the
yeah, no, you were.
No, it wasn't a walker
style.
No, it was something else. It was like the one we fight. The one we fight all the time. In the
the brig, yeah.
We're in a brig.
Before or after, yeah.
Yeah, we're in a brig, and I thought it was a little clunky.
Yeah, I love that either.
Going through the buildings with it, but it was big enough we could get through it and stuff, and then finally had to jump out of it. But no, I enjoyed that mission as well. I mean, it was kind of toward the end, so it was. Like I said, it's like you really couldn't fail. There weren't tokens. You could just respawn, and I really didn't die that many times, and I got through it pretty easily, even on legendary. So maybe you're right. Maybe it's the post campaign play that they want to creep up a little bit in difficulty. But I think they just want as many people as they can to play the campaign and get into the story. Right?
Yeah. But it is kind of funny if we don't have like a mythic version this time or whatever, then it is funny that Legend didn't really feel much harder than normal, supposedly.
Yeah.
I know normal was easier than Legend, but Legend wasn't hard by any means. What's the point then?
Yeah.
Just have one mode and just call it campaign.
Yeah.
Or they should still have a thing where we can do a much harder mode afterwards if we want. But don't let you do it until you've run through it once, because I sometimes feel too like people feel peer pressure, like they need to run Legend or harder if it was available, like just other people are doing it, I need to do it too, or else I'm not a real guardian. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people have that peer pressure, but it's just a story. It's just a campaign. Like it doesn't need to have a hard version. Just to experience it.
James Lewis says he hadn't finished the campaign yet. I mean, be careful, man, because we are going to mention some spoilers tonight. So if you haven't finished campaign yet, I mean, it's going to be light spoilers. I have no interest in giving away the ending to the campaign. I'd rather you guys find that out on your own, but we've both played it. We've both played the campaign.
Kind of did.
I know. I'll just keep that on the rug. But
He was.
Anyway, but I thought the story was very good. I thought the story size-wise was almost exactly the same as the last one. I want to say Ash and Iron, but it's not Ash and Iron. Edge of Fate. I thought they both, size-wise, as far as how long they took, are almost identical in size. Did you agree with that, or do you think it took longer or shorter?
Well, when you say story, you mean the campaign? I was talking narrative, but you're talking about the campaign.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, yes. However, they now that brings up the point I wanted to bring. They kind of cheated because they put an exotic mission in the campaign, and they put like 4 missions in the middle that were just the Lawless Frontier activity.
Oh,
now,
that's right.
It was interesting. I enjoyed them, but this isn't really, if you're really being true and faithful to what campaign actual missions are, there was probably only like 3 or 4 at most that were like pure story missions, and then the rest is exotic mission and after activity built into the campaign.
Go in the Lawless Frontier and get this for us, or steal this or take that. And what they did though is they actually showed you every aspect of the Lawless Frontier, where you have to sabotage something, you have to steal something.
Well, they didn't show every. There's more. There's a couple more that I ran into in the after part.
Okay. I played a few missions after the campaign ended, but I didn't really go further than that. I had to go to bed. I'd already been playing like all day, and I didn't want to spoil too much. I start getting tired, and I just start breezing through it. I want to remember the stories afterwards, But I did notice they did not have, like, Kepler had all these nodes everywhere where you can go and get voice lines from the the characters. They didn't have that, and at least I don't think they did in the Tharsis area. I didn't see any after the campaign was done.
Not in the Tharsis area so much, although there are some secrets there, not a ton necessarily, but there are, but yeah, because we can't patrol these locations afterwards. They're only built into the Lawless Frontier activity.
Yeah.
However, there are collectible ghosts that you can get and other little collectible things that are throughout these areas.
Yeah.
And I do want to mention so I liked the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
The narrative was just okay. I have some complaints about it, but the set pieces are beautiful. Beautiful. And this is the best Bungie has ever done using reused content. They changed it up so much, I don't recognize it at all. Especially Venus.
Venus looked beautiful.
Venus is the most amazing looking thing. They put so much time into that.
Yep.
Even Mars, which I just and even like Europa, I don't usually love ice planets, but like you go to these places and you're like,
they look brand new to me.
Basically, it looks like a new location.
They look brand new to me. I didn't notice they were from other parts of.
Yeah. They're not all technically. I kind of saw one aspect of something I remembered in Venus, but basically they spent a lot more time. Like when they brought back the haunted Leviathan, the derelict Leviathan, they didn't do that much to it other than kind of give it a red overtone. Yeah. But what they did with Venus and Mars and Europa this time is they put so much time and effort into changing the graphics and sprucing things up. Venus looks better than it did in D1, which is how it should be, even though in Ash and Iron, the Plaguelands look worse than it did in D1. So I'm glad they did a good version with this, making it look better than D1.
I thought there was a step up in the set pieces. I agree.
Huge step up.
What do you think about the characters that are involved? We had Drifter, we had Eris Morn, Anor, which is this new, what do they call him, the Shadow or something? It's the Shadow, Vanguard Shadows or whatever. And then, of course, the Blue Ghost, which is like a New England, or I'm just going to say it. It was like a it was like a New York wife.
It's like
it's like like an older New York wife that just was nagging everybody. And
it has to be a nagging wife, huh?
Why did they use I'm just curious why they used a New York accent on it, but I guess levity. I guess.
Well, I was fine with that, but like all the characters seemed fine. They seemed great. Nothing was annoying to me. I did laugh with the Blue Ghost, that's for sure.
Nice. Well, we couldn't hear her.
Yeah, it was fun.
We couldn't hear her for half the thing either. So, yeah. So I don't know. I thought Drifter probably stole the show for me. I think he was the best character because he did so much. And just the cutscenes with his facial expressions were fantastic. I mean, I was looking in his eyes. I was like, damn, he looks like he could be talking to me right now. And Eris Morn, she had her parts to play and I thought, she did it. I think it was good. There's, of course, a kissing scene at the end where they finally kiss. And I'm like, man, I wouldn't.
Well, even before that, they had the weird scene where she was like spitting green goo inside of Lodi's mouth. Those two were like connected together.
I was like, when he was kissing Eris, I'm like, dude, isn't that black goo going to get down in your lips? Oh man, that's nasty. I don't know, man.
We are spoiling a bit here.
Yeah, we are. We are a little bit, but no, it was the kind of thing where, yeah, I agree, James Lewis. I think Drifter stole the show. I think he did. I think he was the main character, and he's in a block of ice like Han Solo was at the beginning of
in a block of stasis.
Okay. And I thought that was cool at the beginning where we unfreeze him. We unfreeze him and he drops to the ground just like Han Solo did. I thought that was really good. So much overlap between Star Wars movie we've seen.
Yeah,
I had a lot of member berries.
More overlap.
A lot of member berries when I played this storyline. So, yeah. Anything else on the story or the ghost or anything like that? I thought it was pretty well done, man. For a collaboration, I thought it was really well done.
Of course, it was really good. I had a lot of fun, and I'm so happy that we have some new Destiny content to play. And I don't know if you want to give a quick impression rating. I mean, we can always change our mind later.
Of the campaign, I think I gave. I keep wanting to say Ashen Iron, Edge of Fate. I think I gave it an A- on the campaign. I would probably give it I think I would give it a solid A, because I would take the minus away, because there was just something about Kepler that in the story plots and the storylines that just bugged me a little bit. I think maybe if you take the matter spark, the fact we don't have to deal with any of that on this, I think that's what made it an A- for me in the story. So I give it a solid A, man, on the campaign alone.
Well, yeah, no way was Edge of Fate an A or a 9 for me. I think I gave that an 8 and then out of 10. And then I give this an 8.5 out of 10. It was definitely a little bit better.
Just the fact that every time I was playing through the story, I kept thinking about, I remember this part in Star Wars, and it brought it right back to me. That nostalgia really worked for me. And if that's what they were trying to do, was trying to, bring back story parts from the old Star Wars movies into this Guardian story, this Destiny story, I thought they did it well. I thought that they did it well. I think they did it as best they could. I mean, I always feel like it's rushed, where it comes to the villain. There's not much, the villain's pretty simple to deal with. We take care of him and that's done and done. But I figured that's just where the money ran out. They only have so much budget to create this story, and, Bale disappears. So he's going to appear somewhere else, probably down the road, maybe in Shadow and Order that comes out in March. But,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there wasn't, other than that last part where I learned about the Bale, and at the end, that's the only part that really surprised me in the campaign. But overall, like I said, I thought it was pretty well done. I mean, for a Destiny story, for a normal Destiny campaign, yeah, that's all I can say about that. So the Bale villain, I thought he was well done. The voice lines were well worth the money, I thought, because it sounded really good. It didn't sound like AI, or the fact they're using actual voice actors. I really enjoyed that part of it.
Hey, McMaximo here, one of the other Todds. You're listening to the Guardian Downcast, home of the coolest Discord group on the frickin' planet. Word.
Let's talk about the Tharsis Cantina, because if you remember correctly, I said that was the part that I was really looking forward to. Was I wanted to see what the bar scene looked like. Was it going to be a lot like the Star Wars bar scene? And I got to admit, it was a little sparse. It wasn't what I was imagining. I was a little disappointed in the cantina.
I'm trying to think, because they have these in Star Wars Outlaws too, but what did you expect? Like more people you could talk to, more people walking around? Like what were you kind of thinking?
I mean, there were just like a lot of duplicate people, I mean, there were different parts of the factions, sitting around there drinking, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. I didn't see any really crazy looking aliens, because this is a spaceport, you're supposed to see different kinds of aliens. I saw kind of a lot of the same.
Oh, I see.
I saw a lot of the same, I was kind of I was thinking I'd see some.
But that just would not happen in Destiny because they would be like, wait, we've never seen that model before. Why are we not seeing it somewhere else?
Maybe
you know
so.
what I mean?
Maybe they were limited by the storyline, but it would have been cool to say, what was that? What on earth is that creature over there? I wonder what his deal is, He maybe doesn't even have any speaking lines, but I don't know. I was a little disappointed. I was a little let down by that cantina. So that,
yeah. There's the Tharsis outpost, and we got to remember there's the cantina and the bazaar and even areas in between.
Yeah, did you have much time? I wanted to ask you, did you have much time to explore all the different shops and vendors? Okay, let's talk about that. Because I looked a little bit into it. What did you think?
There's a fair amount of stuff to check out in the whole Tharsis outpost area. I mean, a lot of it is just they're trying to make it look fancier. It's just gimmicky stuff that we've already been able to do in Destiny, like go to this spot to buy the chest piece. But what they do is they have the chest piece separated from the helmet, separated from the class item. And so it's like all spread out. Yeah. And then they have like weapons all spread out. Mm-hmm. And they also have weapons all spread out in the different syndicate areas too. They have, but it is kind of cool that they made a larger area. There are some little mini secrets and stuff. I won't get into everything, but we do have to mention, because it's big news right now, and it's even Bungie kind of turned it off. There's this thing called the Homeless Dreg.
What is this? Tell me about this.
Yes. Well, you got to just explore around the whole place. But generally, when you load in, it's like back to your left. He can be in a couple different spots back to the left, but also he can be like way back behind the cantina on the ground, also in another spot.
On the outside?
But he moves around. He's always sleeping on the ground, and you just find him somewhere. And what was allowed, but Bungie changed it, just late breaking news a few hours ago, but you would give him 500 credits, which isn't much because you get the credits pretty easily. Or no, was it 100 credits or 500? It's something pretty small. But right now, Bungie, but he would give you junk stuff or nothing. It was like playing like lottery.
Oh my gosh.
But people found out that's not all he would give you. He actually gave you a very important thing too.
Really?
And guess what the important thing was? It was one of the Praxic Blade cores, the refraction core that gives you the elemental stuff. Yes.
Well, why'd they take that out?
There's different. What? You said no, they didn't take it out. Well, I'll explain more in a second. It just kind of temporarily turned off in a weird way. I think I know why. Because, well, first of all, I really liked it how it was RNG based, because you would just have to, some people got it after like 3, some people got it after like 10, some people, got it after didn't even get it after 30. I ended up doing about 30 before I got it, and 30 at 500 or 100 per piece wasn't that much. But
3,000.
I did get it earlier today. But one of the things you could get, which people were assuming was a troll by Bungie, but it actually probably was a bug. And the reason why I could understand why people thought it was a troll, because it took Bungie a few days to respond to it. People were even figuring out on day one what was happening. One of the things the Homeless Dreg would do, it would be so funny if it was a true troll, but he would fill up your postmaster with junk guns.
What?
But people got pissed because if you didn't clear out your postmaster ahead of time, you would lose what was in there.
Like a bunch of green weapons?
No, they were the new ones, but they were it was just one model just 20 times. It was just not stuff you would want, I think it was the exact same perks too. It was just like a trolling type thing. It actually probably was a bug because Bungie announced today that it's been disabled, but they couldn't disable turning it off. What they had to do was they raised the price to 777,777, Bungie number.
Right.
And no one has that much money, I guess, that much credit. No. So, yeah.
So how are we supposed to get the crystal down the road? Are they going to have to fix it, or are they just going to try to fix it?
Obviously they'll fix it, or they'll move it somewhere else. I wouldn't worry about it, but I mean, I'm glad I got it earlier today before it kind of got changed. But that's just one of the crystals too. There's other crystals. It's called a power core, actually. Right. It's not a crystal.
Just different colors for your Praxic Blade. Yeah.
No, those are the crystals or the different colors. What the power cores do is, this is the refraction core. Reflection damage. Whoops, sorry, I clicked out of it. Reflection damage from this weapon applies an elemental effect that matches your equip super.
when you're blocking.
So if you're running Strand, it'll sever targets back at them. If you're running Void, it'll weaken back at them. All the typical stuff.
Nice.
But there's other refraction cores too.
Okay.
This Praxic Blade has so many things between catalyst, refraction cores. It has focuses. Mm-hmm. It has defensive, offensive forms, and then it has the color crystals. So it's like the most customizable weapon thing we've ever gotten ever in the game.
I was looking at it last night after I acquired it, and I was like, man, there's a lot of stuff to get open up on this, because a lot of stuff was still locked.
Talk about that more when we do the mission.
Weapons. Yeah.
But weapons, but because there's so much more to talk about Tharsis Outpost. Right. But so that's interesting. There's some other little things around, like there's a room you can go in and deposit things. When you collect the ghosts, there's a spot where you can deposit the ghosts on a little ghost stage. There's people you can talk to that say like, oh, deliver this to someone over there. There's little fun nothing super impressive so far. There might be other secrets that people are finding out. But that's the stuff outside. And of course, the vendors. The one side. Yeah.
Well, I just have to mention the one shop that I happen to stroll in is there's a shop where you can exchange your currency for enhancement cores.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, your credits.
That was awesome. Yeah. Okay, so we go.
And of course, you get credits by playing the Lawless Frontier activity.
Right. Yep. Now, I noticed a couple of the stories I would get them, and a couple of stories that wouldn't register. I don't know if that was a bug.
That's because, like I was mentioning earlier, half of the campaign in the middle was Lawless Frontier activities.
So but there were some stories in the campaign I would go on Lawless Frontier, and I would get from destroying the glowing pails. I would get 6 and 8 of the credits apiece.
That's random for those little glowing things. You'll get credits even for just completing.
I got them for every time I did it. I was getting them, and then there'd be a story I went into where I didn't get it. I would run over. You can see the little green prism, the credit prism, but it wouldn't register any. I'm like, well, what the hell? I didn't know if I was doing something wrong.
I don't know, but don't worry about that. It's mostly the after stuff that you're going to be grinding this to get lots. Yeah. Yep. And so there's that. Before we talk about the syndicates, though, inside the cantina, I thought it was mostly cool. Actually, the one thing I wish that they added that Outlaws has would be like a mini game, a card game. Yeah. That they were so close. One of the syndicates even talks about it. But let's get into syndicates if you want.
Yeah, but I want to mention Spider first, because Spider's way in the back. Mm-hmm. He's separate from but he's kind of like the boss around there. He's just kind of just like he was in Forsaken. He was kind of running the show on that planet. And please, Bungie, bring back the exchange, because otherwise Spider's useless. Bring back the exchange that he had. He had an exchange system.
He's not useless. He does lots of things.
Well, okay, but what I'm saying is, I know we went and talked to him a lot, but there was no exchange system like he used to have in Forsaken. Please bring that back. That was so much fun to be able to go there, and if I'm light on a certain currency or something, I could exchange it out. And that would
wasn't that what you just said the vendor does outside, right?
What vendor?
Kind of.
Well, no, but you can exchange credits for enhancement cores, but what if there's something else I needed? It would be nice to be able to exchange it out. And I understand there's not planetary materials anymore, so I mean, I guess we don't have those to use for exchange, but even credits for different, credits for prisms, credits for golf balls, enhanceable golf balls, and all the different things that maybe we short on. Instead of going to Cryptarch and trying to buy it there, why couldn't we go to Spider? Anyway, let's carry on. The syndicates, yes. I thought the syndicates were very interesting. Each of them did a bunch of different things. They obviously, you have the syndicate modifiers that you can bring into the Lawless Frontier, and you can only hold 2 though, right? Or can you enhance that to hold more?
You can only have 2 active at a time. Yes,
but they do get more powerful as you unlock more of them. Like the Stray Front, I got I think if I got the level 4 or level 5 Stray Front, I like Stray Fronts because it's just like an airstrike in Call of Duty where you would just drop it down and everything would explode. The drop pods were a lot more. There was one where you get drop pods to fall down, and I think that was the drop pods were was that the Pikers that did that? I think it was the Pikers.
I think so. But I do have to mention, since you're talking about all the abilities now, which is more Lawless Frontier related, they're not all through the Syndicate. Some are through Spider too, and other places. So
I do want to mention that.
People listening, this isn't just Syndicate stuff.
I'm sorry, I'm all over the place tonight. Let's talk about the Syndicate. You have the Pikers, which are the Elixni Fallen. You and Relics. Relics is the boss there. You have Vex, which is called Tharsis Reformation. And then you have the Totality Division, which is a cabal. It's run by a Scion there. Which did you go with, by the way, at the end?
Because you went with Vex, the
Tharsis,
the
Reformation.
what the hell? Yeah, mostly just because I always like Vex. I think Vex are cool. I didn't really have a reason to otherwise. I didn't so much. I guess I did a little bit for the ability. You are right. What you're starting to say, each one has 2 abilities, but there's more abilities than just the Syndicate's.
Yeah, Spider has. That's where you're saying Spider has them, right?
Spider has a bunch too, but I mean, the Vex little circle dome is pretty powerful, actually. But I mostly just joined it, not because of ability. I'm gonna maybe unlock them all eventually anyway, so it doesn't matter. I just did Vex first because I like the Vex. I think they're cool and fun. So that's why I chose the Vex.
Yeah, Vex and clothes. It was really weird to see them look like grown-ups, with the clothes and stuff on.
And I'm walking up to the table right now, and they even talk about it. They're playing a card game on the table, and it looks like the typical Star Wars card game.
Right.
They have a card game you can play in Star Wars Outlaws. I'm like, please let there be a mini game in here. Please let there be.
That'd be cool.
So close. They didn't add a mini game, but that would be so cool if they added a little mini game you could play.
That would be nice. I did join the Pikers. I joined the Elixni, mainly because I didn't really care about the Piker, the Pikes to drive around. I really didn't like that anyway. I know you had to drive one at the end of the story there, and it's pretty powerful. But I'm really not going to I don't know if I'm going to rank that up real high. I like the drop pods. I thought the drop pods were very powerful. Even the beginning level drop pod would squash a walker one shot. Would almost take a walker out. And what I loved about it is once you flick the coin, you hit your circle button if you're playing on console or on controller, and it would switch over to a whole new menu or a whole new set of abilities, and you basically would just aim it and flick it, depending on what you're trying to do, which one you're using. And I loved how it would track it. Because if it was moving around, the thing with an airstrike is it's not trackable. They don't track anything. They're just laying a carpet bomb down. But I like the drop pods because they actually are tracked. They actually track the walker and then they drop right on it. And then level 1, it was so powerful. But I got to admit, the other modifier that I used when I ran the campaign on Legend is I did like the dome. I did like the Vex dome. And believe me, I was so split on it last night. But the problem is the campaign was so easy for me on Legendary. I really never needed that dome. I did use it. But when I did use it, it was very powerful. Even the first level one was very powerful, but I just didn't feel like it was in any danger. I never really, but I have a feeling when we get to the Lawless Frontier, I'll probably wish I had it.
You should know that the campaign's different than the after stuff. The after stuff is quite a bit different.
Zombie says seen people calling them Florida Vex. Yeah, Florida I can see that.
Fun.
I can see that. Yeah, they kind of have like little loose shirts on, like mechanic shirts. Yeah. But
yeah, and obviously you can switch between different syndicates.
Every weekly reset.
I was assuming they would do, of course, Bungie made it sound more of a thing than it was. They said like, oh, be careful because if you switch one to another, there'll be downsides. There's only one minor downside. I thought what they were going to do was in Outlaws, if you go on one, you lose rep with another. But of course, in Bungie style, you will never lose rep. You just have to switch to another one to gain it up. So you can build them all up eventually. But I still think it's a pretty cool idea.
When you get to a certain level on each of the syndicates, you get a really badass shader too, which I tried the shader on all three. They all look really good. They're multicolored shaders, and for the most part, they look good. I think the Vex one is like a Future World colors, which is kind of ironic, but the Pikers one is really nice. It's like a dark black and dark red, and it just looked really good on my armor. And I did have to buy the special not exotic armor, but the regular legendary armor where it has the 5 hands coming off of it. Cause I kind of look like a Fallen. Then I put my Sith mask on. So I kind of look like a Sith, but I don't like how it doesn't have any kind of cape. it just like has cut off like court pants or something. And it shows, but I did put my claw toes, my boots on that have the claws on them. So I kind of look like a Sith / fallen character, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that. That's one of the things from the Eververse I got, but
I'll give you a guess which, and we'll talk about this more when we talk about the Lawless Frontier activity. See if you can guess which ability is the most OP right now that everyone's talking about.
In the Lawless Frontier, you mean the modifier?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess the dome. As far as
no, revitalize.
Oh, the shank that gives you health? Really?
No, not the recon shank. The revitalize.
No,
there's
a shank that gives you health too.
Sorry, it was a little ball in the middle. I thought.
Sorry, my
maybe
bad.
It's a shank.
It might be a ball. It might be a ball. I didn't play it long enough I didn't really use that one.
No. It gives you, if you max it out
okay.
on level 7, it gives you Cure 2, Grenade Energy 3, Class Ability Energy 3, Melee Energy 3, and Super Energy 2. And let's put a pin on this because there is a big issue right now in the Lawless Frontier activity with Invade.
That's a spider. That's a spider modifier, right? So we can.
There's a spider one, yes.
Okay. Well, everybody running to get that. I love it.
I just maxed it out right now as we were speaking. I just got it to level 7. So
yeah, let's talk about the currency, because the currency, I think they give you a lot of it. And if you go around, there's pails everywhere, those little glowing pails, and you get 6 to 8 of the currency every time. And you know me, man, I'm going to get my currency. I'm going to get my materials in each planet. And then if you got the actually had planetary materials like the Spirit Bloom and stuff, I do like how you don't have to hold it down now to gather it. You just press the square button and you're good. Your X button or whatever you're using controller wise, and boom, you get it. It's like instant. Because if you're in battle and stuff,
but that's still pittance compared to the completion of the activity.
Yeah, you get like 2,000.
When you complete the activities, you'll get like 1,000 or more.
Yeah, I got 2,000 because I was doing it on Legendary, but they shower you with loot, and all you have to do is just play the activities. I tell you what, man, there's a lot. Talking about the post game here, the post game activity, there's going to be a lot to upgrade. We're going to be busy upgrading. I mean, between the 3 factions, we're going to upgrade with Spider. Then we have I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in that because the fact that it just seems like a lot of busy work to me. I'm not excited leveling things up to level 7 because that basically tells me then levels 0 through 4 are no good, right? So it's like, why did we have to have so many? I get it. They're just giving us stuff to do, but I don't know if I will level up everything, because if we find out like no one cares about like the speeder bike ones or this or that, who knows? Maybe I won't level those ones up in the long run. But but I did level up my first one to level 7 as we were speaking, the
health,
and I'm so excited because this is supposedly one of the most OP ones right now.
I don't tell anybody, and they'll nerf it.
No, everyone knows already who are playing the game that are at that's
probably 50 videos on YouTube talking about it already, I'm sure. But
you just don't know.
Yeah, I mean the cantina area. I mean, it's pretty wide. It's pretty deep, and I know I like it. I like how it's all set up with the different. You say it's a lot like Outlaws. I'm enjoying all that part of it. The shops, yeah, I agree. I think they're spreading the shops out to make it look like there's more on that planet than there really is. I agree with that part. But at least you can focus for armor or chest piece. You can really focus what you want on there. Hey Guardians, would you like to send a question for the show to us? There are 4 ways to do it. First, you can join our Discord server at discord.gg/Guardian Downcast. There's also a join link in our show notes down below. We have Guardians from all walks of life and all over the world, from new lights to day one players to hardcore gamers. There's also a channel labeled Podcast Questions where you can type in your question for the show. So come hang out with us. You can also email us with your question at guardiandowncast@gmail.com, or we also occasionally post about our upcoming show and guest, and you can respond there with your question at Guardian_D_cast is our X handle. Finally, you can send us a voicemail with your question at guardiandowncast.com, and we might play it on the podcast. Think of it as talking with us right on the show. Thanks for listening, and later, Guardian. let's talk about the exotic mission, because this was the Fire and Ice mission, right? You're talking about the Fire and Ice for the Praxic Blade?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the lightsaber. Yeah,
the Praxic Blade. It's not a lightsaber.
Okay, Praxic Blade. Sounds just like it when I boom, boom, and throwing it at people. I enjoy it. I think I'm going to play with it a lot. I'm not really a big sword guy. I don't like a lot of close range weapons. I'd rather just plank people, especially in harder content. I'd rather sit back and just plank away. But the fact that you can throw it, and it is pretty powerful. The prismatic blade is pretty powerful. I ran through the mission. It was my favorite part of the whole campaign was the Fire and Ice mission. And then it looks like I'm about to play it again because I forgot to switch it over to Legendary. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. You have to balance the light and dark orbs. And the key there is, and I got greedy. I was trying to do them one at a time and it reset. So yeah, what you have to do with that is you just have to balance the 4 orbs they give you. You have to balance out between the two, spread it out evenly. That's why they call it balance, or what do they call it? The balance the scale, I think was the name of the encounter. So yeah, you have to do that on 2 dark orbs and 2 light orbs. And once you do that, then the boss comes out and you can pound away and knock him out. What do you want to add to it? I'm not trying to do it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good mission. I thought it was like a little short the first time through. I'm like, they're just making it longer with the jumping puzzle part. But when you go back in for doing the catalyst stuff, it gets extremely more interesting because there's other areas that you go to collect things and do extra credit things. And unfortunately, there's a timer, but we'll get past it. It's a very long and generous timer. I'll run it with you sometime if you want.
Yeah, definitely. I got a lot to do.
On legend mode, and there's 3 different catalysts you can get. Okay. And funny enough, without spoiling too much, one of the catalysts you actually don't want to balance. You want to purposely get it out of balance, and then an extra little mini boss shows up.
Okay.
So I did all the research on it. I got through most of it. I just didn't. My first run, I didn't get done in time, so I was just exploring more. But I do want to run it again with someone and go through it.
I think it involves throwing all
the catalysts.
You have to throw your Praxic Blade at an orb or something. I was looking at that.
Yep. There's 7 of those things throughout in little hidden sneaky spots.
Right.
As one of the versions of the catalyst. And then another version of the catalyst is that first encounter where you're balancing, you want to purposely not balance. And then the third catalyst is in the final boss, you do something also with, there's like 2 more light orbs that appear underneath, like you don't normally see them down there. And then you do something with them. So yeah, it's pretty good exotic mission. Nothing too hard. Legend changes the path in a couple spots, a little teeny bit, but mostly as a timer that you can turn on. You don't have to, but you need to have that timer on for doing the catalyst stuff.
Right.
And at least 2 of the catalysts. People found out you can get 1 of the catalysts without that, but you might as well try to, if you can, get all 3 at the same time.
Right.
In the mission. Yeah, pretty good, pretty amazing set piece again. I think it was a really good mission. For me, Praxic Blade stuff, I mean, I am upgrading them some and getting some more things, and it's getting more powerful. I don't know, man. Like, I still feel like I'm doing way better with Mint on my top slot when I'm doing activities and stuff. I try to use the Praxic Blade. Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm not using it, right? I know how to block. I've even done a couple upgrades. I throwing it and stuff. I still do way better with my normal loadout. And the fact that it's a top slot, uses energy ammo, it's exotic, so I can't use any other exotic. Those are like 3 things against it in my mind, but it is certainly pretty cool. And I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to try it some more.
Taja Trade says the 7 node one doesn't have the timer activated, so you can do it at your own pace, then run the mission again.
That's what I basically said. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
The first one. Yeah.
And
were you listening to what I was saying?
I'm listening. I'm looking at chat. I'm thinking what I want to say ahead of time. I'm doing like all of it at once. Now, Kabam Island did speak of weapons. He says the Kvastov AR is slapping at the moment when using the new kinetic/arc siphon mod, which I did, on your helmet with the Getaway Artist Arc Buddy, making sure you have the prismatic fragment, facet of dominance, arc grenade buddies, jolt targets. Yes, I do. This synergy is printing orbs of power hundreds in a single lawless frontier run. That's awesome because orbs are the fuel that powers everything up in most of these builds now. Can't wait to see what other little gems can mesh with this foundational build. Mission was great with lots of little sneaky Bungie-isms. The first round of Catalyst Hunt was also good. Okay, good to know. Thanks, Kabam Island. Yeah,
So
Go ahead.
So the Praxic Blade, though, you're going to like lean into it more yourself and see what you liked of it.
It's funny. I used it for the first mission, and once I got the prismatic blade, I was like, I didn't really look at anything else. It was just so much fun to use. The fact I can block stuff unlimited, you can just sit there and block and kill people that are trying to shoot you. I couldn't do it against. By the way, I can't do it against the Cabal ships who shoot those seeking fire orbs at you. I tried to block that, and no, it doesn't block those. So
no, I mean, and fire, you can't do
that would have been
fire,
awesome.
But like
that would have been awesome if I could have done that. But no, I'm enjoying it, man. I mean, I know this is probably the centerpiece for this Renegades DLC.
Yeah, it's impressive all the customizations it has. That's for sure.
It's pretty powerful.
I will, even if I don't use it tons, I will definitely like get a lot of things for it. And I'm excited to get all the catalysts just because. And then there's some things too that like there's another one in the dungeon and some other things we can't get until the dungeon comes out.
Right.
So they're really kind of building into this as a cool weapon. There's all sorts of colors of crystals. Some you can only get in the Eververse store. Some you get, just for free through campaigns. Others you get through doing, dungeon things also, or other things, so there's a lot to it for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy doing that. I'm definitely get all the catalysts and stuff for it. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it does in raids as far as DPS numbers.
DPS, it's not going to be a DPS weapon.
You never know.
Maybe it'll be good for ads and stuff. But
let's talk about the Lawless Frontier some more.
Well, okay, maybe a boss that I take that back. There has been sword metas before, so we'll see if it's a boss we can get really close to, and maybe.
Well, like the Hobgoblin encounter, we can get close to him.
Yeah, we can see.
Maybe. Okay, we'll see. I'm sure some people will be trying it on Saturday.
Yeah,
you played the Lawless Frontier after the campaign, so let's talk about that a little bit. What do you think of the Lawless Frontier? I have no opinion of this because I haven't played it yet. Not the real version where there's invaders.
Yeah. Well, this is where it really opens up. Yeah, as we know, there's different versions of it. You can go in to a regular one, or you can go into one where it's contested and have invaders. Okay. You start getting contracts from the syndicate you align with, and there's a priority contract, which you basically want to do that one first because you get the most rewards. There's 3 different planets, of course. There's the Venus, Mars, and Europa. And there's different versions of the activity. I mean, this is like how Bungie used to do activities back in the day anyways. They had like 6 different versions of it, right? One is like 3 different maps or 3 different locations with like each one has 2 different versions. So there's like Smuggle, there's like Downing one or whatever. And then not to mention, of course, even like if you're doing the one with the invaders or not.
Now, wait a minute.
It's a pretty good activity.
Let me back up just a sec here. You said there's a version you could play without invaders?
Oh, yeah. Bungie already told us that months ago. And
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
I think you only get the invaders if you, I could be wrong, anyone in chat, but I think only the contested ones are the invader ones, I think.
Okay. Yeah, because I noticed that. I noticed that. You get more rewards, though, I think, because I looked at, that's the thing. That's where I left off.
You get more reward.
That's where I left off. I went, because I'm part of the Piker gang now. I was going to go to there was one contested, I think it was on Venus. I can't remember. But so that's the one the invaders can get in. Okay. That's good.
Well, it rotates. It rotates. Right. It won't always be Venus, but yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's good to know, because there's people who don't want a PvP and just want to run and get just.
Well, yeah. Bungie told us, we've talked about it on the podcast a lot. Like,
I don't know how I missed that.
You'll get more rewards.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
And also, if you want to be the invader, you queue into a special thing for that called invasion. If you want to be the invader, and you have to have death mark tokens to do that.
Yeah, I remember that part. And you can wager more. You can wager death tokens too. I thought that was pretty cool. You could kind of gamble on how well you think you'll do. That's good.
Yeah. So I do like, it seems pretty good, because I remember I was said this last week and the week before, really how this, we'll see how long this DLC lasts, because of course portal stuff isn't really technically part of the DLC. I mean, it's part of the season, but will be how long this Lawless Frontier activity stays interesting to people. I still think there's some potential there. I am getting a little overloaded with it. I feel like maybe the missions could be a little shorter. Sometimes they feel a little oppressive and
I was going to
long.
ask you about that because I thought they increase in difficulty every time you go to the next. And there's I think there's 3 rounds. Is it 3 or 4 rounds? There's several rounds.
It's 3 rounds and then exfil.
And they do take a while. It's not a quick.
They kind of take a while. Yeah.
They take probably 20, 25 minutes, maybe longer.
Yeah. I wasn't really looking at the clock, but maybe that sounds about right.
Okay.
It kind of depends. You can make it go faster if your team's really good, but like only so much faster. You can't make it like go extremely fast. They get a bit more difficult, of course, when you are playing the after campaign version, and they should be, because if you have 3 people in them, you don't want it to feel the same version that it is in the campaign story mission. So that is a plus for sure, because you want it to feel a little bit on edge. And there's revive tokens, unfortunately. So you will potentially run into a situation where if your team's dying a lot, you can fail. Or I had a situation where I got match made into one today where someone else left and they were already down to 0 revive token.
Yes.
So that can be an issue.
So everything's match made. Can you bring your own fire team of 3 in?
Oh, of course you can. You can always do that in Destiny.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. Can always do. Whenever things are like a raid, you can bring 6 people, your own people in. Like a strikes, you don't have to match make. You can bring your own 3 people in a strike. But yeah, and then you can do private too. So you can go in there on your own.
What?
Boy, if you go into private, like Grandmaster version, you're not good. I mean, unless you're super sweaty.
Okay.
You probably don't want to go private for that. You probably want to have it just match make.
But I can go private in like maybe a lesser hard one when it's not so hard.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if you can go private on the contested one, though. Probably not. Let me check that right now, because that would not make sense to have that one be. Oh, you can. You can.
Really?
It says so. I guess you could do a 1v1 then, because you would be one, and then the invader would be the other.
Hats off to Bungie for making it where you could bring all three scenarios in there. That's the way it should be. It should be that way. Yeah. Okay.
But regardless, I just don't know how much people will enjoy this activity in the long run. I think it has potential, though. I'm not saying it doesn't. Now, here is the big issue of the day with the ones where you have invaders. I ran into this myself, and then I was watching some videos on it. Remember, I was talking about that revitalize ability?
Right.
Well, people learned you basically it's like a cheat code. If you're an invader and if you have your revitalized maxed out, you drop that. That's what everyone's using right now as an invader. You drop that as soon as you get in. It basically insta-fills your super, and you can just farm people. You kill them with the super. You're probably going to do Golden Gun or Titan Hammers. Those are the 2 that are going to be getting the other 3 people. Buffs. But you'll drop that revitalize. You'll get your super right away. You'll kill people. You'll drop it again, because if you have that maxed out, you get 4 things of it. You can use it 4 times.
Use their
super back.
And use all the other team's tokens, and you win.
Yeah. Now, of course, you could do that on the defending side too, but for whatever reason, people are noticing that the invaders just kind of, because the people on the defending side are also dealing with the ads more. So the invaders do have kind of a benefit there of,
distracted. People are distracted. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that'll probably change some, who knows, but it's, I'm not really loving the invader playlist myself. Even if people aren't doing revitalize, I liked Gambit better than this. Let's put it that way, the way it worked with invasions and stuff. And this is kind of annoying. You don't really know where they are as much as you do on Gambit. They get insta supers. It's just kind of weird right now.
Well, Tajo did say that. Of course,
people were going to find the exploits. So
Tajo said you can use the recon shank. Yeah. And it'll show you where the enemy locations are, the invaders.
Yeah.
So that's a plus. I mean, at least there's a chess move for it, So that's good to know. So, okay. So what are you hearing as far as Lawless Frontier? Are people enjoying it from what you've heard in the Discord?
I haven't really done research on that.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm just throwing it out there.
I think my guess would be it will depend on a couple factors, because even though you don't have to do the invasion ones, you really get pushed to try it because you have better contracts with those.
Right.
I think it'll really just depend on if people get fatigued leveling up these abilities and if they're getting annoyed by the invader ones, and then if they just move to the other ones.
Yeah.
Either way, though, I predict this is a better activity than most. And again, the fact that these arenas are just so beautiful and there's a lot of variability. So every time you go into each planet, like there's like at least 6 different zones or something like that. So there's a lot of variability. So at least the set pieces, I mean, I'm starting to see some repeats here and there, but like there's still a lot of new things I'm seeing too.
Good.
So kind of fun there. And of course, you want to get all the upgrades, get the exotic key cards so you can open those little cash rooms that whether you need the exotic or not, they're still worth learning those cash rooms to get a bunch of rewards in there when you get an exotic key card. And there's some little fun things you can do here and there. What's cool though is Bungie did promise us that you can level up just doing this, which that alone also will be pretty good because, you know me, I don't love Portal stuff, although I do want to talk about Portal a little bit.
Yeah.
But I've gotten all my weeklies and dailies, and I'm basically at level 20 on the weekly pass from only doing Lawless Frontier stuff. So you don't have to do Portal stuff if you don't want.
No. Yeah.
I mean, this is technically in the Portal, but you know what I mean? It's not like the boring Portal stuff. It's something new.
Let me see here. I am on the seasonal, and I'm going to talk about the seasonal because it is a win for me. Yeah, I'm at level 16 just from playing the campaign. Yeah, I'm almost done. And I'll be honest, I haven't played one lick of the Portal. Not yet.
Hello, everybody. You are listening to Jealous Gaming on Guardian Downcast.
I know they added one solo op mission, but did they add anything else?
Yeah, they added one solo op.
Okay.
I checked out the solo op.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying.
Really?
It's that one that it's kind of cool. They mixed it up a little bit, but it's the one, I don't know how to explain it, but of course it's called, what's it called here? It's called Typhon Imperator, but you'll recognize it. It's the one from a few campaigns back where, you know, it was the one where you had a big round arena and you would have to sparrow out, but they don't make you sparrow out for this version of it. And the champions and everything is just super annoying, of course. But I got it done, but I don't know that I'll hop in that one much more.
What power are you right now?
Power, I don't care. Let's see. I am...
Just curious. For not caring.
I am 412.
Okay. I'm getting 511, 512 drops right now. So I'm probably around 508, 509 if I were to max everything out. So not bad, really.
And
for not caring.
But what I did try, because I was excited, were the arena ops. And
I forgot all about that.
Is so freaking fun. I always like to catch Crash.
Okay.
Because what they did, where there was the legend version before of Catch Crash, which was so much more fun, but you'd have to bring in your own team of 6, or you could do the LFG finder.
Right.
It wasn't match made on legend back in the day. It was only match made on normal.
Right.
Well, they have the match made for all the versions now. So I love 6-player activities that are hard because there's more room for error, if that makes sense.
Yeah, more people helping too.
But it still feels really hard. Like the ads are out of control. It's super dense with the ads on Catch Crash. And I'm just having so much fun with that activity. That is to me like a major, major win than bringing Catch Crash in. I ran it on the harder mode and just had a lot of fun just playing it with other people. And I still don't think I'll be like grinding it because I don't have a reason to grind it.
No,
power doesn't matter. And everything like that, but I had fun in it.
I'm trying to correct myself. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Arena Ops, didn't that replace Fire Team Ops, or is there still a Fire Team Ops?
No. It didn't replace it.
It's totally separate.
Fire Team Ops are 3-player things. Arena Ops.
That's right. So they're adding a 6-player, and then we have the Pinnacle too, right? The Pinnacle Ops stuff. In addition, Oh wow, so they added a whole.
Well, they already had Pinnacle. The only thing that's new is the Arena Ops.
Yeah, because Pinnacle's 3 as well. That's right. Yeah.
They already had Pinnacle. They already had Fire Team Ops.
So this is the only 6-man activity other than the raid.
No, there's 3 of them. There's Catch Crash, Astral Alignment, and Nightmare Containment. We already knew this. Also, we talked about it in a previous show. Those were the 3 that are coming.
No, I meant Arena Ops. Arena Ops is the only 6-man match-made activity other than the raid. Is that right?
Well, raid isn't match-made.
Well, you know what I mean.
You have to bring your own
6-man activities. Yeah. Right. I got you. Okay.
These are match made.
I like
if you
this.
Want. Yeah,
I like this.
They default as match made. Yeah.
I can't wait to play that. That's going to be fun. Maybe our raid team can
check
run
out
one.
Catch Crash. I think you might like it more on this version than the version back in the day, because some people that didn't like it never tried the Legend version. But this version is just chaotic and fun.
Wow.
I think.
Okay. I'm looking forward to playing it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get our raid group to play it. Maybe after the raid.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Maybe after the raid
what we
this
used to do
week.
back in the day too.
Yeah, especially when we blew through a raid pretty quick, we'll just go play a 6-man
Just
activity.
warm up or afterwards.
Yeah, we can do it before or after. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that this Saturday. Okay.
This is a win. I don't have a reason to grind it unless maybe there's a specific weapon that's rotating on it. Although most of the seasonal weapons, I don't know that I care about. And then, of course, power doesn't matter, so I don't care about that. But still, them being in there just for fun factor, huge win for me. Yeah. The arena ops.
I wanted to talk about the some of the other UI stuff, but before we do that, well, actually, let me talk about the Vanguard order system, because I love this new system. Not only are you getting, and I'm going to switch screens here, not only are you getting, in the game, you're getting your weekly rewards that you're working on, which are very good. I mean, you're getting 11 strange coins, 6, enhancement cores. You're getting the Zavala's drops every week. You're getting prisms. I mean, you're getting golf balls. It's even ciphers. I mean, this is the way it should be. You should get this kind of stuff for doing the weekly stuff. But in addition to that, you have this hub right here where you have all these active orders. And what I love about these, Kingsley, they're not too difficult. There's something you can actually switch to on the fly. What I was doing during the campaign is this was big. You can see I'm halfway to legendary only now. The more of these you do, the more legendary you get. In fact, I have gotten so much bright dust from just doing these, and not to mention the dailies here. But like right now, I have machine guns. Get kills with machine guns, 3 of a kind, rapidly defeat enemies. How quickly are you going to do that? Kinetic final blows and elemental pickups. I mean, these are very simplistic things to do. Now, here's the thing. When you complete one of those, it'll automatically switch to another one in mid-game, and it'll appear at the bottom and said, okay, here's your next order now. And you can actually go, oh, stasis weapon, good. Let me switch over to a stasis weapon. And I can complete 3 or 4 of these things during a campaign mission. It's so much fun, man. I am loving.
I told you this is be better than bounties. And
I'm loving these new orders because they're always updating and they're not something crazy. Now I'm curious once I get into legendary ones, like shiny new thing. That's a common, but there you get when you fill this bar up right here. When he gets up full right here, you get a better chance of getting a legendary. And then eventually, as you do more and more of these through the season, you'll start getting exotic chances for getting exotic ones. And I'm just curious. I did one legendary one. It was like get multi-kills with a rocket launcher. That was not hard at all. I just put on the raid rocket launcher and went to town. And I was also getting stasis kills with it. This is good for my brain, because my little monkey brain, when I'm playing this game, I love to be able to be multitasking. And this new Season 28 Lawless, these new Vanguard orders are a win for me, man. They are really cool. This is what's going to keep me engaged while I play during the day. And I can't help it.
Well,
I can't log off.
Were you already engaged for the last 5 years?
I know, but this was very smart though, Kingsley, because instead of going and picking up,
I do agree it's better.
Instead of going to whoever and picking up your daily ones, these are repeatable. And they repeat when you finish them. They repeat right in the middle of your activity, and you look down and go, "Okay, have heavy ammo kills. Good. Okay, I'll start using my machine gun more now."
But
I love it.
What about the dopamine you used to like clicking them off and making the little noise?
But you do when you're done. When you're done,
well, you don't click them off yourself.
You get this little seasonal hub thing here that starts flashing.
Oh, the box reward.
And you click on that after
so
after you complete your activity or whatever, you go to this.
Yeah.
And you got these little boxes down here that you open up. And every time you open one up, you're getting blasters. You're getting almost all the time. You're getting bright dust. You're getting all kinds of different stuff. You're getting glimmer. You're getting some of the planetary, what do you call it? Exactly. Warcry shinies. You're getting all kinds of good shinies. So I'm loving this, man. This is.
Obviously, it's a better system. Yeah, because you don't have to pick up bounties ahead of time.
No.
They auto-complete. It moves on to the next one.
Yeah.
I also really like how they did the weeklies. And some people may be, there's less. I like it better that there's less because when we had the seasonal weeklies before, first of all, some of them were just annoying and no one wanted to do them.
Right.
But the fact that there's only 3 just makes it more focused.
Right.
I already have all 3 done, and it's just kind of interesting. I'm not going to do this every week, but I like this way better than the seasonal
portals, than the portal
weekly
stuff.
Priorities or whatever those things were called.
Yeah,
before.
you had to do it all in the portal. Yeah. And the only one I don't have is Soaring Achievement because I haven't played any portal. And I'm not getting any Be Great because I haven't done any portal yet.
So now remember, Lawless Frontier does count as portal activities too.
It does. It does.
You don't have to
so you get grades at the end of it?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't played it yet. That's fantastic, man. I'm loving this. I don't know what to say, man. This is really cool. I love it. Let's look at the seasonal title real quick here. See what's involved in getting that done. Oh, that's for the Conqueror. Never mind. Let me go back. I want to look at the seasonal title because it's called Renegade. I mean, how badass is that to have that kind of title? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just saying. If we
Godslayer is better.
Journey. Well, of course, Godslayers. It's a rare one to have too, because unless you had a fire team of 6 that could crank all that out, it's really tough. But no, I want to look at the Renegade title because it 22 things you got to get done. And if you notice, there's more than 22 things here, but achieve a maximum rank with a syndicate. That's not going to be too difficult. Attain a minimum reputation rank of 5 with each. It looks like you get a ringleader. What is that, a pike? Or is that I don't know what that is. It looks like maybe a sparrow, maybe. I don't know. I can't tell. The picture's so small. Make a killing, earn credits. You're going to do that anyway. Salaried mercenary, claim weekly shipments from the syndicates.
You're going to read all 22?
Oh, I'm just reading them. Gun for hire, complete contracts. I already completed Renegade's Journey. That's the main quest. Guardian. Okay, these are the quests. Frontier Domination we talked about. I got to finish my Fire and Ice to get that. Opportunist, complete optional objectives. Must see the other ones here. Ace up your sleeves, fully upgrade an ability. Dragon's Dash, complete Glory Beyond in less than 15 minutes. Now, see, this is the one I'll skip because it's got a effing timer in it. I hate effing timers, man. Screw the damn timers. Bungie, let me play solo at my pace. Thank you very much. And then finally...
have some timers too.
No.
Can't have the full game without timers.
I disagree vehemently. Collect every Ghost and Renegades. Collect every tape. That's pretty cool. So there's hidden tapes everywhere I got to get? I didn't know that.
What about people that say they shouldn't have PvP in the game?
Well, there's an option to. You don't have to have PvP in the game. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you don't have to do the timer thing. You only have to do 22 out of 24. Yeah. So, yeah.
Collect dark matter crystals for your Proxic and collect every component for your Proxic blade. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't think that's going to be too difficult. And
no, this one is easier for sure.
3, 4, 5,
now,
10.
Before there was 4 you didn't have to do. This time there's only 2 you don't have to do.
So it'll be this one.
They all look pretty easy. For me, I think I'm not going to do the legend missions. And then there's 2 of those kind of,
Dragon's Dash will be the one I skip.
Glory Beyond in less than 15 minutes probably won't be that hard. So I'll probably do that one.
We'll see. But yeah, the Renegades is the title. That's I don't know, man. That's a pretty cool title. I don't know. I think that's a pretty cool title. And of course I got the Mandalorian ship. I had to spend the silver on it. The Mandalorian ship looks really good.
Mandalorian.
It's not exactly the Mandalorian ship, but it looks pretty damn close to it. Sorry, I got it on screen.
I'll have to see it. Maybe I missed that.
Yeah, you'll see it in the raid. So I'll bring it when the raid. And of course, I got the. Where's the damn menu? My menu. There we go. I got the mechanical assassin shell. That is just so badass. And then of course I got the Sparrow too, from when that Anakin used in the races, little tiny Anakin Skywalker. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I dropped the silver on that. I couldn't help myself. And I did buy the universal ornament that has all these extra hands on it. I thought that was pretty cool. But like I said, I just wish it had a cape. It's the only thing. If it had a cape, it'd look a little bit cooler. I look kind of scrawny here with no caper. Anyway. But it's I don't know, man. There's going to be a lot to do on this. I think there's going to be a lot to do.
This one is a lot less though than Edge of Fate. I guarantee it. And in fact, it's not time gated at all too. You can get all of this right now if you just grind through it.
Yeah, there
So
will
I
be people who
predict
do that.
more people will get this title than the last one.
Okay, good. All right, the best for last here. Let's talk about these weapons, man. I don't know about you, but what do you think about these new blaster weapons? Are you using them or using something else?
No, I haven't even really tried them yet.
What? Oh my God. I only have one complaint. I'll go back to my screen here. I only have one complaint is the fact that the uncivil discourse, which just reminds me of the blasters in Star Wars so much. This requires special ammo. Why? Why does this require special ammo? And and it has a heat sink on it where you have to reload it when it gets too hot. I don't understand this uncivil discourse, why it requires, this should be an energy weapon. This should not require special ammo. It hits hard. It does hit hard, yes. But I'm loving the sidearm too.
And that's why.
The compact
thing that hits harder is special.
The compact defender is a lot of fun. I was using that in one of the tougher missions, just mowing down the bosses with it. Of course, the Praxic Blade. This M17 Fast Talker, this thing is pretty powerful, man. And for a submachine gun, it has decent range. And I got a tier 5 one. And it has some pretty cool options on it too. The new perks on these guns are really nice. They're all based on how quickly they heat up and stuff. So you can really tune these really nicely. And Warcry, this is definitely for you in Crucible, because you'll want to, of course, be able to reload your weapons faster, and where they don't heat up as fast, you'll get more shots in them. This is basically the same thing as having a bigger magazine. Now, I got to tell you, man, the All or Nothing Pulse Rifle, I love this thing, man. I use this almost exclusively as before I got the Praxic Blade, the All or Nothing Pulse Rifle, and I've got several rolls of this one. I've saved every one of them because they're a lot of fun. And the modified B7 pistol, it's a primary heavy ammo hand cannon. I'm enjoying this as well. Now, I have not used the refurbished A499. Have you tried this heavy sniper rifle yet? Have you been able to try that in the field yet? I just got one last night.
Okay, the two weapons I've tried, and I will talk about a weapon that I like, but yes, I have tried the sniper rifle. It is really powerful, but it only is a single shot, and so
I got to reload it, man.
I don't. Yeah, but it's the trade-off because it's super powerful. Think of it as like up there with like a linear fusion or something.
Okay,
maybe even more powerful. I think it has potential, but what I have been maining is the machine gun from the season pass, Service of Luzaku. That is really, really good.
Yeah,
I can tell you all about it.
I'll put it on. Yeah, this thing is impressive. Yeah, what do you think of this machine gun?
And this is another reason why I probably wouldn't be using the Praxic Blade a lot, because it's freaking exotic. So you can't, you know what I mean? But
that's true.
This weapon, it feels pretty powerful. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily going to be a DPS weapon, but we'll see. But hitting targets with this weapon builds a restorative charge in the background. Hip firing at allies, and I just hip fire pretty much all the time anyways, even on the enemies, unless they're further away.
Right.
Hip firing at allies while this weapon is charged heals them, does not use ammo, and fills the weapon's magazine from reserves.
That's awesome.
And if you do rapid healing to like several people, increases the weapon damage right after that, and spawns threadlings from your allies.
Wow.
Not only that, when you're shooting it out and about, it creates threadling nests on the ground that periodically spawn little threadlings. They're like these little like ant hill nests, these green threadling nests.
Well, they just sit there and bubble, and they just keep throwing threadlings out every now and then.
Kind of. They sit there at first, and they have a timer on them, but then they periodically spawn threadlings. But final blows near one of those nests create a threadling instead. Wait, I already said the word threadling. Anyways, I don't know exactly what's happening there, but all I know is that there's tons of threadling stuff going around. So
this looks like a lot of fun. Like I said, I couldn't put my Praxic Blade down, so I couldn't try it out. So I'm glad you did. You going to bring it in the raid Saturday?
I think I will to at least try it out. Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious to see what your numbers are. Yeah, that'll be pretty cool.
Well, I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's going to be DPS, but I would bring it in the raid. Exactly. And I might try it on DPS if I have ammo still, but I definitely want to bring in the raid either way to see if I can fit it into like ad control, or maybe it is good at DPS.
I could see this. I could see people using this in the day one dungeon, because if your other two people are doing DPS and they're getting just slammed and they're just getting almost near death, you could sit there and just be loading them up with health.
Exactly. And in the Lawless Frontier activities, I've kind of been the healing guy. And I'm usually not a healing guy. I don't like that. But everyone's using the Praxic Blades. And so sometimes when I notice one of the teammates is getting low on health, since I've been maining this weapon, I'll shoot over at them and help them out. And why not? Right? Help
like
someone
this.
out. Give them some
This
help.
is a great weapon. It's the first time I've seen. I know we had healing weapons when we had the one ship where we didn't have any health. The only way we could build it up would be the wheels, or
all the way back from Lumina. That was a healing weapon too.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
We've had healing weapons.
Not many people have used that Lumina though, but this is being a heavy weapon, and it has a dual purpose too. It can actually do harm too. So I like this, man. This is interesting. Definitely interesting. All right.
And it makes a really cool sound too. That's also why I like it.
That's pretty cool. I like it. Does it have like a Star Wars sound? Like a Star Wars?
It kind of does, actually. It almost sounds like it's making blaster noises. So, yeah.
This sniper,
and it makes a slightly different sound when you're healing someone. It makes a slightly different sound. So that's what's cool too.
100 impact on this sniper rifle. It looks really good. And I got one with no distractions and box breathing and auto reloading holster. Damn, I don't even need a tier 5 one of these. I've already got a good roll. Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to that sucker, man. I think I got this from the Pikes, if I remember correctly. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I have one. I didn't go with the Pikes, but
I don't know, man. These weapons are all a lot of fun. I've tried almost all of them. I haven't tried this new Evening SI-14, SI-4 yet. It's one of these, it's one of these Suros weapons. You can hip fire, has good hip fire perks. It's got your standard perks on there, but there's a new enhanced weapon mod I just got called Stay in the Night. When your shields are broken, this weapon gains an improved period of increased stability and ammo generation. That could be, I've only unlocked one of the seasonal perks so far. So I'm guessing you're going to unlock more of these as you play the game more, because I only got one. I'm like, that's it? That's the only one I got? So let me think. Any other weapons you want to talk about? I know the armor looks pretty good too.
Yeah.
I've got most of it stashed away, but this Thriving Survivor gloves, they look pretty good. And it has final blows with grenades, grant heat weapons bonus stability and vent speed, and grant primary ammo weapons bonus stability and reload speed. A 4-piece, multiple final blows with heat weapons or primary ammo weapons grant bonuses to weapon and grenade stats and increased ammo generation for heat weapons and primary ammo weapons. So I don't know. I mean, there's I think of 3 different ammo types, 3 different, what do you call it? New sets of armor that I got. I'll put most of these in the vault, but yeah,
the thing with weapons with me, there's always so many new weapons that are coming out. Like, unless I start hearing like a huge standout, and not like just like this weapon's pretty good, but I mean like a huge standout, like a Mint retrograde type of standout, then I'm probably not going to switch to something else. I'm telling you, Mint is still really good, even with the supposed nerf they did on it with less ammo. Like, I haven't really noticed any issues, and I'm still rocking and rolling with that.
Yeah,
for sure. But I'll check them out some more. Yeah. But the machine gun, I could tell right away, was pretty cool. And not all new exotics are cool,
right?
But this one for me is pretty cool so far. And again, I may not stay that way like in a few weeks from now, but so far it's really like the main exciting one for me. The venting thing, I could take it or leave it. I was already used to that, and Star Wars Outlaws, another thing they copied over from that.
Right.
Venting is fine. You definitely want to reload it at the right time. That's not hard for me to do or whatever, but unless I hear one's like a huge standout or something,
Okay.
Then I'll.
That was my only beef.
Try.
My only beef was the uncivil discourse. I mean, I guess it's what was the exotic sidearm that people loved to use for a while there? It was a lot like a Halo weapon that they used to use, a little pistol in Halo. Anyway, this is probably a lot like that. It fires a lot like it too. So maybe that's why it's a special.
What about the other second slot? I could see maybe moving off of Year Tide, which is so good too, because I got the heel clip on it. But how have you tried the sidearm much, the Compact Defender? Do you like that?
Yes, I got several of these. This is a tier 5 one I just got. And I like this thermal atomization perk. While at high heat, This weapon deals increased damage. I'm always at high heat because I'm hip firing this sucker, just letting it go on automatic.
Yeah.
And, it's got hip fire grip, but I have cooling baubles and thermal atomizations. Cooling baubles collecting an elemental pickup or orb reduces the heat more. So as you pick up orbs of power, and like Kabam said, we're getting a bunch of orbs of power with the certain setups, which I'm going to try that, Kabam. I'm going to try that when I jump in. With this and this together, this little sidearm's going to tear up some enemies. So I'm excited, man. I think everybody complains that weapons are all reskins of older weapons. These are all brand new weapons, man. These are all brand new types of weapons that we haven't seen before.
Well, finally.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I love the blasters. I really do. I don't have to worry about ammo bricks. All I got to worry about is pacing my shots or making sure I stack, certain mods to make sure they work the best. But I was using this Fast Talker M17 in parts of the campaign, and I was just chewing up enemies. It really does have decent range too, even though it doesn't show it here. This thing really was chewing up a lot of enemies, so I was having fun using it. And I'm not a big submachine gun user.
So does other submachines. Your Tide still tune up enemies too. So again, I just need to hear from like streamers or other people in the Discord, like, oh, this weapon is a super standout with like this perk, and then that'll get me to change,
Yeah.
I mean, so many weapons in Destiny are good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the problem with having too many weapons. Something really needs to be a standout to kind of get some people to switch. Because for me, weapons is never the main draw. If I have a good enough weapon, it has to be something really amazing to want me to switch to something else. Even if it's just like, oh, this is good also. No, I need it to be, this is way better also,
Like I said, I'm having a lot of fun. I've got the big grenade build, that they use with the Arc Buddies, since the Arc Buddies count as grenades. The hits, count as damage on a grenade. So I'm getting really strong. My Arc Buddies are just chewing up stuff too. My Arc Buddy was killing stuff so fast, I couldn't kill it with a weapon. The only thing I could get second shots on using my Arc Buddy build here is the yellow bars and the bigger bosses. And I chewed through them so quick just on Legendary. I was chewing through them so quick. So yeah, like I said, I don't know, man. I've had a lot of fun playing the campaign. I thought it was definitely easier than Edge of Fate. I think especially the last part was hectic, but you kind of knew that you couldn't really fail with, on that last mission where you're scooting around on the Sparrow. But I don't know, man. I was really,
you could fail, but not really. You would just try again.
Kind of can. Yeah. You just, I died a couple times.
It's not like there was no respawn zone. It was just like you die and you just get right back into it, You
just get a whole new Sparrow and go back out and keep shooting. Yeah, I thought it was very simplistic, the last part of it. I thought it was simplistic as far as the weapon. I like the ending, though. I won't share it, but I liked how the ending ended just like it did in Rogue One. Really cool. So, yeah. Anything else we want to mention about our first impressions?
There was no new red subclass, obviously.
Of course. We knew that were going to happen.
Of course.
We knew that were going to happen.
No, of course not. But there still may be in the future, but we would hear about it ahead of time, too.
Yeah, and like I said, this is the fact that the numbers were so low. I thought we'd hit at least 100,000 on Steam, but the fact we were, like you said, about 30% less, that was a little disappointing.
35% less, yeah.
A little disappointing.
Yeah.
It was a little disappointing. Yes. We'll see what the day one dungeon does for numbers next week. I think it's next.
Yeah, it'll go up, but it won't go higher than release day. They never go higher than that. Always the peak is release day.
That's true.
Even when you look at raids, which are more popular than dungeons, they're generally right. The raids are like right at the same if they're really good, but they're not like higher. And there's no way this dungeon's going to be higher than release day. So
right. Well, like I said, overall, I haven't played a lot of the Lawless Frontier yet, but just from what I've played so far, man, I've been really, it's encouraging to see. It's been encouraging to see. I'm really, really enjoying it. So
there is definitely more to do for more variety of players, I think, with Renegades. I think that's the moral of the story. I don't think this is like Saving Destiny where people are going to be interested for 6 months straight, but there is more that So like before, if you weren't into Portal or if you weren't into grinding power,
Right.
someone like me or something like, then there was less to want to do. But now there's other things like you can do the Lawless Frontier activity, and there's, you know what I mean? Like just, there's more things in the Portal with the arena ops. They didn't really, it's the same amount everywhere else, but at least they added a new category. You know what I mean?
Right.
So at least there's that. And that's not a huge plus, but it is definitely a plus compared to Edge of Fate, where I think even though population is down, I don't think we'll see maybe, I don't know, even like a quicker tail off than last time. But,
Right.
you know, ask us again in a couple months. Of course, you know, things might be rough again.
And
but
that's something we didn't mention in the story element, is the fact that they did tie in the 9. You know, we're trying to bind the 9, right? That's what we're trying to do. And the fact that there were some other members of the 9 that were behind the Baal enemy and stuff. So I like how they still, it was a continuation of the New Prophecy storyline, but they had this little twist with the Star Wars integration, and I really think they did a good job.
It will be for 2 years straight is the 9 storyline. And I won't spoil this, but did you catch, there was a little voice line from Lodi after the campaign when he loaded back to the Lawless Frontier? Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
They finally explain what that means, and we won't spoil that, but they explain what Bind the 9 actually means.
Yep.
At least what he thinks it means.
I want to say it, but I'll save it for next week. I'll save it for next week. So, well, next week we'll probably have more detail, you know, impressions of the Lawless Frontier. I'll be jumping into that this week, and we'll be getting ready for
maybe some builds. Supposedly the arc on Warlock is one of the better ones, the arc build.
Right.
So.
And really, honestly, guys, I didn't even get into the TWAB this week because it was really, I mean, I'll just share one real quick thing here. And that is the fact that they have we talked about the new trophies that they have now, which I think are much better than the belts, because belts are just hard to display. Unless you have a wall you can hang them on or something. The trophies are so much better. And to me, they're more valuable to me than a belt will ever be. But if you do tune in, like I said, to the day one race, which is December 15th. No, it's
a week from Saturday.
Yeah. 13th, December 13th.
13th. Yeah.
Yeah. December 13th. It'll be starting early. 9 a.m. is when the official dungeon race that's 12 p.m. Eastern for most of our Eastern guys out there. And if you do watch this, you'll get an emblem, which is kind of cool looking. And also there is I think if you gift a sub, you get there's a Discord quest and also Twitch. I did the Discord quest, and there's a Twitch watch drop also where you get emblems. And I think you have to gift subs for this. And you get a ship.
The Discord quest is different. That's you can do that.
You just
anyways,
have to play.
It gives you a shader.
You just have to play, and it gives you a shader. And I got that already. I already got the code and everything here. So, but watch and opted in Destiny 2 server for 30 minutes between December 2nd and December 12th to receive the unwritten Patience emblem, which is down here. If you watch for 4 hours, you'll also receive the Sherwood Wanderer exotic ship. So there you go. You get the ship and the emblem. The emblem's okay. And then if you run the Discord quest, you'll get the shader, which I don't know if they don't show a very good picture of it here. So yeah, there's a shader right there. It doesn't, like I said, you really can't tell much there, but looks kind of plain. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it for the TWAB this weck. They have a lot of stuff that this, player support report has a lot of stuff that they're having issues with. If there's something that you think there's bug that's not working for you right there, make sure you check out the TWAB this week to look at that beforehand. But no, other than that, man, it's been a really light TWAB. So I barely even mentioned it this week because there just wasn't much to talk about this week that we have already been talked about in the past. So anything else? Am I missing anything, Kingsley? Are we good?
Yeah. One little quick tip before we close out. Explore the Tharsis Outpost. Just walk around. One thing you can do, along from other little minor secrets, is you can just find credits on the ground.
What?
I'm just running around and I found 100 credits just laying on the ground, and they're in several spots.
Really?
And I don't know if those reset daily, or I don't assume they reset just flying out and flying back in.
I'm definitely going.
Or weekly or whatever. But yeah, run around and collect free credits too.
And make sure you shoot your shiny pails or whatever they call them when you're in the Lawless Frontier, and you'll get 6 or 8 of them at a time. And those add up. So
yeah,
I'd
rather get my 100 here.
That's what I do.
Sometimes in that activity, though, when you do the match made, you don't want to pause and shoot every single one. You'll be messing up your other teammates if you're not shooting the ads and stuff.
Well, just remember, if you have the ghost on
Yeah.
that shows elemental, your planetary materials, have that on as well when you're running in there. And there's planetary materials there you pick up where you get like 25 for just one node. So that's another way you can keep stacking on their credits, and everything runs with credits. You go in there, you'll be in the Tharsis Cantina, and you can bribe like just random people for 100 credits. You can buy, like I said, that's how you buy all the upgrades through Spider. The only way you can upgrade your stuff in the Syndicate, you can do it on Syndicate too?
Oh,
You have to earn
no,
that.
maybe they don't cost credits. Let me see if they cost.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Syndicate.
That's what I want to ask you before we go here. How quickly are you ranking up playing Lawless Frontier for your...
Oh, yeah. Well, I did kind of mention it. It looks like it's going to be a pretty slow process, unfortunately.
Okay, I was curious.
I did a bunch of stuff, and I'm still only level 2.
Okay. Well, they don't want people to blast through it in the first week. I get that. But yeah, it'll be an time investment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But let me double check here.
Everything you buy from
credit.
Everything you buy from Spider is credits, I'm pretty sure. That's what he takes is credits.
Well, not everything. They have you can change the depth marks into dark ingots or whatever they're called.
Oh yeah.
But even through the syndicates, they cost credits too.
Really?
Now you have to level up before you can get some of the higher ones, and then even then they cost credits on top of that.
Okay. So yeah, collect the credits. All right. And I think you said 2,000 to 3,000, 1,500 to 3,000 per 20, 25 minutes, I guess you're playing. So that's pretty cool. And you'll get them too with...
plus the contracts. The contracts add more to
contracts. I think also the Vanguard orders, the bounties that rotate, I think you get them, some of those in there as well. So I'll double check. I'm pretty sure I saw credits.
Yeah, maybe.
I saw like 100 credits pop up in there or something. I'll double check it, but check that out as well. But that's it for me, man. Like I said, I just got through the campaign this week. I'm already over 500 power, so I'm not really crazy to go into the portal right now and crank out. I want to do all this post-game stuff, and I'll probably try to get the Renegades title. It looks like it's not going to be too incredibly difficult to do. And
it won't.
I always like picking up easy titles if I can, especially if it's a lot of stuff I can do on my own.
I would never do a bet on this one because this title doesn't look that hard to get, in my opinion.
Well, I guess we have to run a blind raid, a HUDless raid soon, because I lost the bet.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we decided on, is it Garden of Salvation we decided on? I don't think we decided yet, did we?
I don't think we totally decided. I still think we should do DSC, but I'm down. I think people will have a harder time with Garden, but I won't. But whatever you guys want to do, I'm down. It's
going to be so weird not having numbers and feedback from what you're doing in the game. But Ronan swears by it. He says it's a lot of fun to do. So
there is feedback. Audio feedback is better than visual anyways. People miss visual feedback.
All my headphones on. Yeah, I'll definitely be listening for it. That's for sure. Hey everyone, as I take my mandatory bathroom break, I'd like to thank our Patreon community for giving back and continue to help out a listener-supported podcast like this one. If you've received any value for today's episode and want to give back, check out guardiandowncast.com and select the Patreon button to learn more about it. Now let's return to the conversation. And yes, I did wash my hands. Later, Guardian. Speaking of patrons, I want to give a shout out to our Patreon community. Thank you to everyone who pitches in and gives back to our community. And don't forget, there's probably over 3 years of bonus Patreon video and audio episodes in it. And we just dropped a latest Patreon episode right before Thanksgiving. So check out that new drop if you haven't already. It's patreon.com/support-guardiandowncast.com. Special thank you to our Dungeon Champion patron, that's Deadpool1Merc. A thank you to our Raid Boss patrons, that's Jealous, Frostbite, and Amazing Taco King, And thanks everyone for giving back and being a part of our Patreon community. Thank you very much. Really means a lot. Before we go, some final thoughts to wrap up this week. In this week's episode, we discussed our initial impressions of the new Renegades, and there's a lot to do after you complete the campaign. So if you're out there playing Battlefield 6 or Arc Raiders or the new Call of Duty or whatever out there, and you're wondering if it's worth coming back to Destiny 2, I hope you do, because Bungie really put a lot into this new major expansion, not to mention the new dungeon coming later next week, and of course, one of my favorite events, the Solstice activity, the Solstice event. That one will be out right after the dungeon comes out next week. So the following week will be Solstice. And I tell you what, I don't know if you saw some of that new armor, but it looks fantastic, as well as some new weapons they're coming out with too. So I'm looking forward to that event. I think you'll get a lot out of this DLC though, so I hope you'll join us. And if you have any feedback on today's show, let us know in our Discord feedback channel. It's discord.gg/GuardianDownCast. Our community is always very welcoming to new members, so don't hesitate. Don't think twice about not jumping in. Jump in, say hi to our other Destiny gamers out there, and you can also give us feedback as well via email, guardiandowncast@gmail.com, or send us a voicemail. Leave your voice and talk to us at guardiandowncast.com. Hey, before you go, check out my brand new podcast, 50 Years Experience Required. I launched it, I believe, in October of this year, so it's not so new anymore. But I have, I think, 8+ episodes out right now, and it's on all the podcast apps out there. And in a nutshell, it's just more personal stories, experiences, lessons I learned from trial and error over my long life. And my hope is that these topics of conversation will help you in everyday life, all in less than 30 minutes typically. The amount it takes to, get a shower, shave, get ready for work in the morning. Some positive experiences, positive lessons that I've learned over the years, and hopefully you can benefit from my failure. I just officially released episode 8 a couple weeks ago, where I talk with a friend of mine in real life who cheated death. And you got to hear this story. It is fantastic. You just never know when your day's up. You never wonder when is your last heartbeat, as the Foo Fighters song goes. But yeah, it's 50 years experience required in all the podcast platforms out there. 50 years experience, that's 50, 50 years experience required.com or 50yearspod.com. Both of those links will work to get you to the website where you can look at all the episodes that are out. Next week, Kingsley and I will return with another live episode. We'll be live on YouTube and Twitch, and of course, our live stage in our Discord. We had a really good turnout tonight. Thank you, everybody, for stopping out and talking with us. So we'll be doing that, all 3 platforms simultaneously, next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll probably have more of an in-depth Renegades episode next week as we explore a lot of the post-campaign activities. And don't forget, I'll be streaming the Desert Perpetual raid with my raid team this Saturday, live on Twitch and YouTube. That's ToddtheGatr. And we'll be probably jumping into the new arena ops as well. So stop by on Saturday. It's 10:30 p.m. typically Eastern. And say hi to us. I appreciate that. Well, that's a wrap. Another episode in our collection for our listeners out there. We have 332 other episodes with interviews from gamers all over our community, talking Destiny or whatever topics on our roundtable episodes. So if you're new to us, check out those. And if you're like what you're hearing, do us a favor, would you? Could you hit that share button on your podcast app? Send it to somebody who you think might really like this show, especially if they play Destiny. Special thanks to my co-host, Kingsleymac. I'll have his links in the show notes down below if you want to follow the socials. Remember, as you're playing Renegades, take breaks, get outside and touch grass. Yobi the Bear from the land down under. Welcome to the community. We're Guardian Downcast, your stories, your community, and your destiny. And be good to your fellow Guardians in the Destinyverse.
The weight of the world was on your shoulders, and still you triumphed. Marvelous.
Thank you all so much for listening. And later, Guardian. that's it for me, guys. Anybody have any questions? We didn't have any questions in the podcast questions channel this week. I figured everyone was busy.
Appreciate the chat.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody came out tonight and gave us some feedback in the chat. I think I've covered everybody that spoke up. So that's it, guys. Short show this week. I'm ready to jump back in and start playing some more. So we'll see you guys in the Discord. Later, Guardians.
And have a good one.
And remember, as you're playing Edge of Fate, oops, wrong game.